particular IP or set of IP schemes, addresses, it includes that setting of validation rules. So quite simply, if you want to make it at the end of the building, clock in and clock out, that's the way you can do it.
Does it have a location finder on it? Because like the utilities, we've got some that start at Scotts Hill.
They start in Scotts Hill. What we would probably need to do is figure out the way that would need to work, and that's, it's adaptable, I guess is my answer to that question. But not being as familiar with how Public Works does its operations and utilities does theirs, we would need to sit down with them and talk with them and to see what's the best practice to be able to do that. But many of the errors that we were committing on the police and fire side and get eliminated by just the simple mathematical errors that human beings are going to make periodically are eliminated with this system. And it has those checks and balances in it to make sure that honest people are kept honest. It's all adaptable to that. I think what we would need to do is, if that's the route we were going, I personally we're a fan of it on the police and fire side because we use it. It has so much more capability than just payroll and things of that nature. The fire department uses it for training hours and burn permits and so many other things that we do. It would be something that I would need to sit down with the other department heads and say, let's do this. The advantage to it is it wouldn't be so difficult to learn something new, and a lot of times human beings don't like to learn something new, as we all know, because you have people who've been using this system for 6 years already, and we know it and live it every day, and it's just part of our way of doing business. And we can offer some suggestions on how to modify the business practices to the will of the board. I've got some preliminary numbers. There's an initial startup cost and a development cost, and then after that, it's just an annual fee every year, and it's just a flat rate. But you don't have to worry about maintaining the database, maintaining the software, that kind of thing. You just pay that flat rate every year.
And it's my understanding that we're working off of 2 different payroll systems for, we've got one for general fund, then we've got one for Lexington Utilities. So we've got 2 separate payroll clerks.
The same payroll system, though.
Okay.
It's the same system, and we can bring these, within this planned payroll system, we can bring them under the same umbrella, but break them out into separate entities within that.
And it has the ability to automatically report this into our accounting software.
That's correct. Once the accounting software at City Hall is ready and adaptable to that, this system is already able of exporting that payroll information into whatever format that you would prefer.
Mr. Wood, what's the blockade for us being able to download that electronically into our system that we currently use?
When we first looked into this 6 years ago, it was the payroll software side.
That City Hall uses?
That didn't work well with very many vendors. We reached out to those vendors to see what they offered, and we ran into a lot of roadblocks. Since then, they started allowing a lot more different file formats to be utilized. I've not asked about this system specifically, but I do know they import from different systems.
And we can export payroll into CDS file,
Right.
Whatever format they want. This company, that's what they do, so they're pretty adaptable to pretty much anything that we do.
Well, as you know, I sat at City Hall today when the time cards came in and watched this process. It's quite mind-boggling.
It really is.
We are living in 1982.
And it's not,
Wasting a lot of time.
and unfortunately, you've got 3 different sets of rules.
Absolutely. You've got each department being paid differently.
And that's not the fault of the department or the city.
No.
That's federal wage and hour law.
That's just the way,
That's
it's
way
the
it is.
law.
That's the law.
But there are software out there
Yes.
that will handle this.
Yes.
I mean, we have a employee that has been so dedicated and wonderful to our city for many, many, many years that is taking a whole day, a week, hearing time cards. Mind-boggling to me. It's extremely inefficient.
Would that technology,
Not the person, not the employee, the system is inefficient.
would that technology include geofencing and geo-tracking?
I don't think it has geofencing. I think, once again, I think it operates off the IP address. That's my understanding. So you can't clock in at home. You're gonna have to be here in this building if that's the IP address that we assign it to. Or like in the fire department's case, if I've got 3 different IP addresses, I can throw 3 different IP addresses for fire personnel, and then when they arrive at their specific station, they can clock in at that station.
How's it work with your police officers that's on the road? How, if a police officer clocks in and they're in Jackson at Mulligan's, how do you know they're in Lexington or Mulligan's?
That we're gonna have to work around that with and figure out that scenario, what's gonna work best for that kind of thing.
Okay.
Because there are gonna be situations where they leave their house and go to court, right?
Right.
And or then where they go to training or.
Right.
And we're just
So
gonna.
it doesn't have GPS?
It doesn't have GPS. That's my understanding.
I guess what we're trying to decide here tonight, if the board agrees that we're gonna go to the automated time cards.
I make a motion, we go to the automated time cards,
I will second that
some
motion.
sort.
Well, there's a little bit more to it. Are we gonna specify a limit on the funds? Are we gonna say whatever it takes, or what?
Well, I think we look at what we're gonna get. So here's the deal. I know that the utilities department right now, if we had to, they're capable of clocking in and out with the system they have. Just don't think it works to our payroll. So if it could be put into a file that could go, you might, if it got, expenses got high, then we can start looking at what we're gonna do. Electric system already clocks in and out, I think, on some sort of system. Is that correct?
They do theirs by job. Okay, so like, we had a neighborhood that called me and they had 6 street lights out of about, I don't know how many. Their cost analysis is run by, number of men on job, like that's how Brad does that. So if he's got, so we had like 6, 8 street lights out, and that's how their time is planned and assigned, is by jobs. That makes sense.
But they get paid by the hour, right?
They're a little bit, well, yeah, but it's just like the other night when the lights went boom at 1 o'clock in the morning, you know?
Oh, I get it, when it went on overtime,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we do something similar to that with specific billable overtime occurrences. Like if I have if I'm working a saturation patrol that's billable to one particular funding source, the officer goes in, designates that, and gets approved by a supervisor. And so that keeps the expenditures going to the right line items at City Hall, because they're coded together.
What I was mainly getting at is if the expense got high trying to do this, really and truly, the only place we have no way of recording it right now is Public Works.
Well, can we make an amendment to Chip's motion that says we do want the automated time cards? Ask Chief Middleton, who has experience with this, to get with our department heads, sort it out, and get back to us at, how long is it gonna take? Next board meeting, or can you do it by utilities? That's March 9, that's quick.
That's real quick.
Let's do it next board meeting.
Because I'd have to get back with the vendor, we'd have to talk, give me the next board meeting.
But the intent is that we want these automated time cards that can electronically report to our accounting software.
Okay, I got a motion, I got a second.
Donna seconded.
And I amended it.
You did it.
Second amendment. Whatever we gotta do to vote.
Is that legal, what we just done?
No, you gotta make a motion.
I made the motion originally.
They don't know what the motion is over here. I'm sure. I know.
So, make a motion that we're going to the automated time cards. We're giving Chief is gonna come back at us at the next meeting after discussing with the department heads with some sort of cost analysis.
And that it works with our.
Yeah, and it's gotta work with our accounting system. That's the motion.
And I'm gonna
Roundabout.
second that motion. We're gonna pull all that other off the floor. I'm gonna second Chip's motion.
Now call the roll.
Any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Gabe Williams,
No, but I want to preface, I'm saying no only because I want to know what the details of it's going to be before we vote to pass it. I think the cost and the And the details of the implementation with our payroll are very important, so I hate to pass it before we know the details of that.
I thought we were going.
We're getting a cost analysis.
That we would know.
This
that
for him to
before
come
we-
back with a
we're not
cost
approving to
analysis.
do it, we just approve it to see what it costs.
Yeah, we're just telling him to go
Okay,
forward
so,
doing
and I
it.
was gonna be good, so we're not, so if
No.
the cost comes back, we'll have to
Yeah.
revote to
Right.
say, okay, then can I change my vote then? 'Cause I'm not understanding that. Okay, so I will say yes.
You scared me.
Angela Lee,
Yes.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Okay. Next, discuss building security cameras. Believe you had that, Chip?
I didn't really have it, but I have to go ahead.
Okay, so this is a new camera system, and this may be something, Jeff, that we want to look at for the cemetery. It is Defend cell cams, and I've got a flyer for it right here. I'll give it to you. This company that came into existence because there's so much off-grid living now, and the cameras are very inexpensive, like $200-300, and then there is a monthly sale fee of like $5 or something. Very well rated. They solar charge. It would be an inexpensive way for us to get the cameras there. This can feed to your phones. It can feed to your computers. And I'll be glad to share this with you.
Can you do it without internet?
Yes, sir. It works off
Cellular.
cell service.
Okay.
You pay $5 per camera per month.
That's better anyway.
Yes. And so the other thing is, as far as security cameras, I would like to make a motion that we put out a bid for security cameras for the parks. I've had a couple of folks to call, the weather warmed up, people go out to the park, they want to play. Well, the kids need to go to the bathroom. We got the bathrooms locked up because the vandals are tearing the bathrooms all to pieces. These would also work at our city park. So this may be an answer to us that's economical, okay? But as far as our buildings, Lexington Police and Fire has cameras already on them, correct? All of our fire stations with fire and police already have the cameras.
This building is camera. All the utilities building are camera.
This particular building is.
They told me all of theirs were, but
Okay.
but none of Public Works is.
So City Hall, Public Works, and our park, and our cemetery. Those
City
are
Hall has cameras,
outside.
not outside, inside.
Okay.
And there may be one on the yeah, on the utility side, on the outside. Seems like he catches that four-way stop, but I know they got cameras inside.
He said the
Okay.
night department.
Oh, okay, so we do have a camera there. Okay.
So the park and Public Works, but the park really needs it at the playground also. It gets destroyed, does it not?
There's not any in the park.
North Montgomery Park, right?
Non-public work.
Northern New Park that we got.
Depot Park.
I don't think we got cameras,
Basically all the
specified
parks.
grid either.
Basically all the parks and Public Works.
Yes.
I want to make a motion that we check the cost of those cameras. I know we have said in the past we can't do it at the parks because of the internet and, this, that, and the other. This off-grid camera may be our answer, I'm not sure, but I would like for us to check into the cost of these cameras, and return that back to our, board meeting next month. Chief Middleton, we're putting an awful lot on you.
I got it, no problem.
So is the motion made?
I made that
Second.
motion.
And what was the name of those?
This is defendcellcam.com.
It works just like a trail cam does.
Well, except it's monitoring it,
Well,
off of cell service.
that's what trail cam does.
There you go.
This is a live. I think this is a feed instead of picture.
Look, it's a feed, it's a
Yeah.
live feed, just like you would in a, yeah.
But it works off grid.
It works off grid, and it works off cell service.
How long
I think
does
it
it
works
hold?
off Starlink or something.
Sounds good. How long does it hold the videos? Like usually you have like only, you know, a week or
I don't know.
a certain amount of time.
And it's probably a storage-based something, you gotta
Right.
pay,
Okay.
you know,
You have to buy one, is what you.
Storage.
yeah. I would say that would be the case.
Most of them do, I think it's 72 hours. Mine's 72 hours.
So we would know if something happened in
Yeah,
72 hours, so that
Yeah,
would.
mine,
Yes.
if you go past 72 hours, mine is, you have to pay for it, so I just took the
And
72 hours.
I guess,
Usually the next day we would know if there was vandalism or something happened.
let me ask this, I said we needed to bid these cameras out. I mean, that would not be specifically to the chief, that would be a bid, a public bid, and is that accurate? That's what I
But
think we
if
need to
you
have
bid
done.
it out, everybody can bid on it.
I think that's what we need to do.
But it looks to me like most of their products are underneath the bid threshold, unless you specifically wanted to.
Okay,
Yeah, we got a bid threshold, if it don't come up to that, you don't have to bid it out.
that's right, we just did that not long ago in that purchasing policy. Okay,
We got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Call the roll.
Donna Ross.
yes,
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Wood. Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
And 7.5 is discuss the speed bumps and on emergency routes. I believe you have somebody that wants to address the board about that tonight.
Mr. Beecham? Can you preach the program?
Well,
You can come to the podium, that way they can hit you on mic.
They're gonna put you on the spot.
My name's Shane Beecham, I'm the operations manager in Henderson County EMS. And we had met with fire and discussed, and just kind of talked about this speed bump. Honestly, the one that the speed bumps that stand out to me most is one on Pine Street. That's generally where we'll have more than, more speed going if we're responding in that area. That's the one I noticed the most. But we work around those, it's not any major issue with us. Any bump in the road, anybody ever ridden in an ambulance around here, bro. But, we know that they're, we see them on the road, we're driving. It's not a major issue with us, or my opinion, and most of us at work up there, our opinion on it. And I can't name off everyone in the city, but one of them are Hill and Parkview Corners and areas like that. Those are, in my opinion, they benefit us. Because I know, high city area, their kids are gonna be playing. They need it. And, that makes, that's really all I got on it. Like I said, the ones that I noticed the most of in the area, by the time we got speed,
you ever had a patient in the back of a vehicle that you've had incubated or anything like that? You hit a bump and something's happened with that patient?
Me personally, no. I do get concerned about the bumps and in those situations. I haven't had one that give me an adverse problem in that area, but we have had some pretty nasty bumps in the back there that I can't say is related to.
Does your stuff stay tied down when you hit those? Like, do you have projectiles in the back of your ambulance? Yeah.
So, occasionally the bag falls off.
Yeah.
Again, stuff like that. That's usually the put in. I'm opposed to every bumpy one.
Right.
I haven't had specifically.
Right.
I've been, roughly, I think August will be my 20th year up here in the county.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for service. The National Highway Transportation Safety Board says it slows per bump. It's about 10 seconds in emergency response time. Fire, police, and ambulance. That's what their statistics shows. Would you say that's your experience here in Henderson County with our ambulance service? What, does it slow you down in EMS service?
I would think it wouldn't make it be any more than that. I couldn't tell you how many speed bumps are down, the whole area. I'm guessing maybe
you start past the bridge, there's 1, 2, 3, and then you pass Oak Street, and there's, I don't know if there's 2 more, 3 more, I don't know how many more is past Oak Street.
Our typical areas are responsible there, City Place, Blackberry Hill. I know we go through that, some of the main things we noticed when we go through the shop house up and down on the truck. So that's a little different than running emergency, just.
Yeah. The cutouts in the street, well, the chassis actually, or whatever it's called, you know, it's supposed to be so that the wheels can go through that and not hit the bump. Does that work?
Somewhat, depending on what they bring.
Gotcha.
We do have some that are a little more narrow than others. Probably our larger trucks, and pretty much get it down, you know.
Some of it. Okay.
Speaking for somebody who has rode in the back of an ambulance coming back down Old Huntington several times, it gets pretty rough.
It can if your driver is not familiar with that.
And when you come back down Old Huntington toward the hospital, which route do you take? Summer Street?
I think the last time I came that route, I didn't know there were some on Summer Street.
Davis Street's the only one of those 3, Holmes, Davis, and whatever. Davis Street's the only one that does not have a speed bump on it.
Yeah, I haven't been down there in a while.
That's your direct access to the hospital parking lot.
Yeah, those are, yeah, they can be, especially, you know, like I said, depending on who's driving. Unfortunately, I have a partner that does it really well, and I can't promise that with everybody, you know.
Right.
So I'm pretty much with the same person in the truck for like 10, 12 years. And,
Doug, can I ask you a question? Is there any other city you go in besides ours that has speed bumps?
Repeat that more.
I said, is there any other city other than Lexington that has speed bumps? Are we the only one?
When
that
you're
you service?
transporting.
When you go to Jackson General,
I'm trying to think, there's some, you know, like on the ramps, or, you know, I think the main entrance, I believe there is Jackson General, but I'm trying to think if there's any others that I'm aware of.
I know that the mayor in Jackson has started putting speed bumps in Jackson. I know that's one of his priorities they've started doing. They're gonna put so many in as they go along. I mean, I have relatives live over and they're talking about them, but I know they have some that they cross right now, but they've started putting them in. If you transport somebody from here to Jackson, sometimes y'all run 412. Oh, well, most of the time you run 412 when you go down. Do you go straight on in and go by the ballpark and go that way, or how do y'all go?
And we go down, we hit 70 and go take Highland, and the majority of,
Okay.
or me personally, that's my preferred route. And now some of the other crews run down the interstate, and go in that way. But as far as, I'm trying to think, of the last time I went through, there was any speed bumps that I noticed. But now we're having to take it out, we're on behind the hospital, I don't recall, there might be one speed bump that's on the hospital, that I remember, specifically.
But you go into the emergency room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can either come in from the south or come in from the north. And you come in from the south? Okay. Reason I was asking, I know, looking back at when we started putting these in, it was to deter speeders in the neighborhood. And I truly understand that has done that in some occasions, not in all occasions. Some of them use it for jumping ramps, some of them do slow down and everything. But what we want to do is what's best for our citizens, that if we have some bumps that would be detrimental to transporting people on the main route, we'd like to know that. But in the neighborhoods where you're not transporting at a high speed because it's in a neighborhood, we understand. But we are concerned about speed bumps on the main thoroughfare. And if it impedes your service, or you've been able to deliver service to it, that's what we'd like to know. And we'd like for y'all to speak out to us so so we can understand that we're giving the best possible service to those, which is transport. So that's what this is. We're just trying to do a review on the speed bump or speed hump policy, whichever one you want to call it, that we'd like to know that we're not being unjustly on some people and more so on the other. We just want to be sure that we're doing what's right, and that's the reason we brought this up. And we do greatly appreciate you coming up and telling us what you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Middleton, on the, fire trucks, police cars, what's our wear and tear on speed bumps with our fire truck, police cars? What's it doing to them?
Sure, I would not, I'd be negligent if I didn't say that I didn't have some concerns about speed humps with regard to some of our older fire engines especially. They have a tendency to be rather temperamental with some of their age, kind of like myself. And that wear and tear, it's gonna happen. Can I say that it's delayed responses? I can tell you that we had a discussion amongst firemen the other day, and many of the times they will intentionally avoid them. They'll take a route that allows them to avoid that. Shane and I concur completely that Huntington Street is somewhat of an issue. Is it perfectly designed for the ability to be able to navigate through that? It's an older vehicle. Those are older vehicles, so is it concerning? Yes. Can I tell you that it's reducing response time? I can't tell you that at all. And the same thing with the police cars.
Right.
We know where they are, and those emergency routes where we're collector roads, where we're trying to get to the neighborhoods, we're trying to get there, and it can be problematic getting over those. But when you're talking about, say, a neighborhood like Hope Subdivision on Teakwood Drive,
Absolutely.
I think the people in that neighborhood would tell you is people are out exercising, walking, kids are running around, that those speed humps have probably been a good thing for that community. The majority might endorse them, but then you've got the equal number that we're doing a traffic study on one right now of a neighborhood that wants them. So,
Mayor Chief had given me a list of, our current policy says that we are not to have speed bumps on emergency routes. And so he had given me a list. We've got 48 that they have classified as emergency designated streets. 48. We either need to, it was just like when they were put on Old Huntington, our speed bump policy says if the speed limit is more than 30 miles an hour, can't put a speed bump down. Speed limit on Old Huntington was 40. What did we do? We reduced it to 30 so we can make it comply with the policy. It's on an emergency route, and we still put speed bumps in. So, to me, the city has opened itself up to something right here because we're not doing what our policy says we should do.
Let's see, I don't recall exactly, but I know that was requested. Old Huntington was requested to be put on that policy. And
Yes.
I do believe the board did vote, and you're correct, to lower the speed limit, so it would qualify for the speed bump. So I believe you're correct. I believe the proper way would be do is the board would have to recommend removing those speed bumps, but I don't know if you need to take the speed limit back up to 40 to disavow it, or just take care of the speed hump, whichever one the board would want to do, if the board so chooses to do that.
Well, I would
like one thing. I'd like for every board member to have a list of those streets that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Have you got them yet?
yes, sir.
Pass it on. I don't want us to vote on something.
I don't either.
Everybody don't
That's right.
know what we're voting on.
I would say that, it's just like the chief said, you've got some that are on, streets like Teakwood and Leota Drive. Those are neighborhoods. Miss Sandra and I had talked about this. There's a lot of kids that are playing in that subdivision. And so perhaps what we can do is to make a motion that these are removed from our emergency routes, but then give the citizens that live in those communities and on those streets, an opportunity to come and say, we want them or we don't, we want them down or we don't want them down. Because prior to our policy, one family could come and request them, and they were down. And that's exactly what happened on Old Huntington. And now we've got 3 subdivisions impacted by 3
At the time that,
subdivisions.
I'm sorry, at the time they placed those on Old Huntington, it was not something that the police department recommended.
Right.
But there was concern for the farmers out that road and
Yes.
the businesses out that road. And that's why they were installed and were supposed to be installed correctly to where it met the criteria that the emergency vehicles would be able to get through without much hesitation. So I don't know if they're not constructed properly or not, but I definitely want those people that would be affected down that road to have the opportunity to come and hear, and so we can hear their side before I would go to pull anything up.
That's why I'm saying, I think if we list these emergency, post it somewhere, put it in the paper, post it on our Facebook page somewhere, let the public know, these are our designated emergency streets. And, you know, it's gonna be discussed at next month's board meeting. If you want them, come support them. If you don't want them, then let us know, you know? And then I think that way we are truly trying to do representation of our people. That's right, that's right.
But I think to remove them, we need to have people say they want them removed, not.
Not the people that want them down. That's right, because it's obvious who the people are that wanted them down, right? They're the people that solicited the board to put them down.
Right, so I'm saying we need to see that there's a majority that don't want them.
That's correct.
Before we remove them.
Before we take them. And then if we don't have that majority that want them removed, then we need to rewrite the speed bump policy and get our emergency routes, verbiage in this policy updated.
So Chief, I was asking on Old Huntington, I know the other subdivisions, we asked the residents of those subdivisions, but Old Huntington obviously affects people that live directly on Old Huntington, businesses that are on Old Huntington, as well as subdivisions that
feed off
of it. So I don't want to cause chaos. What are your thoughts on how would we say this was a new request? How would we go about getting the 60%? What is, we have to have 60%, 2/3. How would you go about getting 2/3 from that many people? I'm asking. I
think that you'd have to take into consideration the people off of those.
Right.
Into those subdivisions, and they would have to be included in that number. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Agree 100%.
I think you will
So
certainly.
we decided that we wouldn't, as be the ones to solicit those signatures. It would be somebody that didn't want them that lived in that area, correct?
That's what our policy was
Yes.
for normal ones.
Right.
But the problem is, these are all emergency
Oh, I understand.
routes.
I understand what you're saying.
And so I think the ones that are on these emergency routes I don't know, what's the best way for us to do that so that the public has input, so that we don't have 1,000 people, because we can't hold 1,000
And I'm
people.
just saying where I'm leading up to, so to get it removed, to me, would we look at trying to get that 60%, 60% of the signatures on the piece of paper saying they want them removed, put it in the responsibility of the residents to get them removed. And I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm saying that would take it off of.
It would take it off.
So
the residents in that area.
So we would post it, we would do everything, advertise it, and, see what kind of response it got, and getting that 60% vote to get it removed.
Can you tell me how many of these streets actually have
Speed bumps.
Speed hump
I was
bumps
wondering
jump on
that too.
I can't, I ain't never seen those.
Somebody made the list, they might actually have, because I know on some of it, there's not even speed bumps.
Yes, some of them, there are no speed bumps at all. That's correct. There are no speed bumps. Obviously, there are no speed bumps on Church Street, Broad
Right,
Street,
yeah.
Church Drive, but none of those are obviously emergency routes, and there are no speed bumps, and there wouldn't be.
And it's just like the speed bumps on Eastgate, when that when that ballpark was built back there. I can understand, if I lived in Eastgate, I would want those on that feeder street going back there to that ballpark. Like, I understand where that,
The volume into that neighborhood.
Yes.
Increased.
Why we did that is beyond me.
Because Don, I'll be honest, I was a part of putting them down too, when we did it, and I would say, my guess is 60% would say to take them up. That's honestly.
In Eastgate?
No, I'm sorry, on Old Huntington.
Oh, yeah.
That I
they
think is
would.
whatever, I'm just suggesting that I think, and I agree, that that's the main one that, in our city that is the
I
problem.
get a lot
I
of
know.
phone calls about it.
So,
A lot of phone calls about it.
The way Shane ended up here was, I actually called, I'm not gonna say his name, but a higher up, All right, he said it, not me. And his exact words to me were, when I said, is there any street in particular in the city of Lexington that causes y'all issues? And he said, are you talking about Old Huntington? And I said, well, maybe. And he said, when I get time, I would love to sit down and talk to you about it. I can put it in official email format for official business. But the quick answer is yes. If we're trying to run emergency and hit one, it can cause endotracheal tubes to even be dislodged. That was his exact reply to me about Old Huntington.
But there also are some very strong opinions that wanted
It needed to be there.
So
I
that's
agree.
why I'm saying, to me, to not make it
Yeah.
political, if we got, I mean, to me, if you had 60% of
Yeah.
the qualified residents, however we wanna, that would get on board, I do think there would be a lot of commentary and support both ways, and
Yeah.
let the residents speak versus us having to make a political
I hear you.
decision.
Certainly make your decision very easy.
Yes. My question is, this is 2026. Can we not set up where they can digitally sign? Instead of having to pass a piece of paper around all these different neighborhoods?
That's what the problem is.
And
That's
I
what
just-
Eastern Shores is fighting, because they are worn out, walking house to house to house.
I mean, it should be easy. I mean,
I'm
you would
more-
think.
I'm more just trying to acknowledge the difficulty of the
No.
decision, because there's a
No,
lot of residents. that-
I agree they need to, we get the 60% signatures, but I don't understand in 2026 why it can't be digitally
11.
done.
Yeah, so I agree.
Can you give us those streets, Roger?
Casey, I'll let you, because I don't know why you bought what.
Holly Street,
Which number? Will you read by number?
9,
Okay.
number 11, number 12, 21, 22, 23.
Whoop, now slow down. My pencil don't go that fast.
21, 22, and 23, Eastern Shores, Harbor.
You got 21,
Yep, 22,
23,
23, got that too.
29,
29,
30,
30,
36, and 39.
32,
So
36.
you've got 1, 2,
I missed one.
you've got two in Pope subdivision, 2 streets in Pope subdivision, 2 in East
I know I
Lake.
started small.
You faster than me, okay.
I had to copy off Sandra on the first
Okay, I'm
one.
sorry.
You got it
29,
on
30.
here. Ricky, you
32.
got one.
Nine, 11, 12.
Yeah.
9, 11.
Right.
9,
Yes,
11,
I know.
Not 10,
9, 11, and 12, okay,
not 10.
okay. Then we got 21, 22, 23.
Parkview Courts, that's a public housing, that's one of the things that they do recommend that that they are in
And
public
that's the
housing.
school, and the school kids get out front of them.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's not all the streets. That's just 11 streets,
This, we're
just
talking about
emergency routes.
emergency routes.
It's the emergency, I understand it's not all of them, but it is emergency.
And if you're coming back off of Old Huntington back toward the hospital, the quickest route is gonna be to turn off Old Huntington onto Summer Street, unless you wanna go on up to Boswell Street, and they've got one on Boswell Street that will throw you through your headliner.
Yeah, Davis is in the middle, and he don't have
Turn on Davis Street, but there's 4-way stop, you know, like, it's a scary intersection on Davis. I'm always afraid somebody's gonna run through there and pop me.
cushions on some of those streets and speed humps.
Yeah, there's one on Old Huntington that's noticeably different.
Yeah, there's one on Old Huntington right there by his barn.
Yeah.
It's huge,
It's noticeably different.
huge. So what do we wanna do? What are we gonna do?
They said get 60%. I just would like to know why we can't digitally do it instead of having to have a paper handout.
Casey, is there an email or something where we could put that out and the people that live in those areas could email? Because this is 11 different streets that just are mentioned, and that's not counting the subdivisions that it's impacting.
Put something out on Facebook with the city email, they take the email, but have it signed, I guess.
Now, what we're saying is the 60% to sign to say we don't want them. That's what the issue is with getting these written, signed petitions, is that volunteers are working themselves to death in these large subdivisions trying to get the 60% because there's just so many houses.
There's a system called Sign Up Genius. I don't know if that's something we wanna look, but, I mean, it works really, really well.
How do you verify that it's the actual person that lives
That's where
at
you're gonna
one
get
two
in the
three
kinky.
ABC Street?
That's
the
where it's gonna
problem.
be trouble.
Wouldn't you think, Gabe?
I agree. Yep, I agree.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
so-
maybe we could post something at City Hall and let them come into City Hall to sign.
I think
Is that a suggestion? Is that a good idea?
I was just acknowledging the challenge of the situation, so that's
Right.
to me, that's,
So that will probably be the best, because you gotta see that we have to know they're legit,
Yeah.
signatures. And doing it online, there's no way, unless you take
Yeah.
some scared behind you, you don't want to go wrong there.
Okay, so can,
Got a
Go
question.
ahead. Yes, sir.
Are we talking about moving all that's on the emergency routes? Is that, or are we just talking Old Huntington?
well,
Basically, I think, I take it as who comes in and fills out the 60% wanting it
Well, I
off their
understand we
street.
have to do it that way, but, we're talking about removing them, so
Yeah.
what we're talking about removing, are we, as a board, wanting to remove all on emergency routes, or, because some of them are in subdivisions that I know, like Mr. Higgins said, definitely why they want them, or are we
Absolutely.
just talking about Old Huntington, so that I'm clear?
here's what I would say. Our policy that's in writing says they are not to be on an emergency route. And we've just been handed a list that says we've got 11 that are on emergency routes.
even if they're 30 miles an hour or less.
Says no emergency
Yeah,
route.
that's what it says. You got it in your packet.
Speed bumps should not be on an emergency route.
This thing that I'm reading says may be an emergency route, so I guess this wasn't designated emergency routes when they were placed, is that correct?
I have no idea.
Is that correct? I don't think,
I don't ever remember there
Seeing-
being an emergency route.
the only one that I can remember being concerned about was when the discussion was Old Huntington.
Yes, I remember.
And that's why they went with, Cushing's.
It said the speed hump is not appropriate.
So that was the only one that we really talked about being emergency. All the rest of them, nothing was ever talked about that being, and we didn't ever have an emergency route designated for any of
Right.
them.
I have received a tremendous amount of calls about the ones that are on Old Huntington, tremendous. And I don't care to make a motion to pull them up from Old Huntington. But I do think that these that are on emergency routes, we need to have some kind of sign-up sheet or something so that the people can just go into City Hall and present ownership and be able to sign it.
What are you gonna do when they don't come?
Well, if they don't come, then we've got to either amend the policy or pull them up off the street.
So, let me ask something, hold on one
Or
second.
leave them, and then
From
we're
what-
in violation of our own written policy.
From what Chief just said, and if you read this, hold on, this is really not efficient.
No, it's not. That's what we did right after the first time we were asked to look at emergency routes and come up with some ideas.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I just read it, it
We all
says
sat down
maybe.
together.
May, yeah.
Right, May. We all sat down together and said, okay, here's some of them, and we sat at the kitchen table and played one,
Right.
and.
Well, obviously, Eastern Shores Drive is an emergency route because there's one way in, one way out.
Obviously, it's-
Right.
that's
No question.
no question.
So,
It's just, what's the board's will with regard?
So-
What if the people still want them on there?
There's the issue.
That's the
If
problem.
majority of the community still wants them on there, then I think what the board has to do is have the policy that's in compliance with the standard. Because if you try to look up what the definition of an emergency route is in the DOT stuff, in the DOT, what you're gonna find is it's arbitrary. It's basically whatever we say it is. So,
oh,
that makes things a little more challenging, okay? Emergency route is whatever we say it is, so.
if it's not what, I just want us to be able to represent our people and not make it so impossible for the people that we're trying to represent to have their voice be heard.
I would say if you look at this sheet in my brain, Eastern Shore Drive and Old Huntington Road would be the two that feed other. Eastern Shore Drive, one way in, one way out. And so you have no option to go around it. And then Old Huntington is the quickest feed to them neighborhoods. I would say those two are the two that matter the most. I still feel like we should get the 60%, because that's what we say, or either we change our policy. I'll go with whatever y'all want to do. I think the rest of the streets really mean nothing at this point.
I think Wood Drive, I think is a good example. I mean, you've got so many people in our neighborhood over
Yes.
there exercising, walking, dogs, walking the kids, riding bicycles. I think the majority of the people in that
Well,
neighborhood.
just like
I agree.
Greenbrier, I mean, Mr. Jeans is sitting
Greenbrier.
here, those kids are playing all the time. You take them up, I mean, it's just a matter of time till y'all are having to come over there.
That's correct.
In fact, in the summer, when I was knocking on doors, the streets in Pope subdivision that don't have them said, Miss Donna, they're flying down through here.
Mine's one of them.
And they want them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
they
said.
do want.
Mine is one
I
of them.
agree, Steve, I agree. Okay, so, what do we do, Mayor?
Ask me. I will say this, if you want to approach this the way you're doing, we need to have something put in the paper. And what we're gonna do, that we're gonna have a meeting and people want to either for or against speed bumps, come and let's have a hearing. We need to do that. I mean, that's the first thing you do, let the neighborhood speak. And I think that's the first thing we ought to do is post it and tell them the date, the next meeting, we have board meeting to come. We'll put it on the first thing on the agenda, we'll let everybody voice their opinion. And this list right here, this should be made public. And the way I read it is, the 9 is, or the 11 that's been circled here, should be the only ones they indicated that we're dealing with. Is this correct?
Well, those are the only ones that may be emergency routes. I look down through here and I see Parkview Courts, and I understand that may be an emergency route, but
It's gotta
also
happen.
the children playing there, this and that,
Well,
it's gonna be hard.
It's
to
gotta
pull
happen.
up.
Well,
It's gotta happen.
I-
That's the reason I
I
said,
agree with you on that. I'm just saying is, can we narrow this list down to what we should vote, should be looking at?
We really need to decide which streets we're gonna.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
And
about.
I agree with.
Can we narrow this list down?
that's why I said basically you got two
Pretty much
streets.
Eastern Shores and Old Huntington.
Yeah,
is what
it's
Chip
two
said.
streets. I mean, it's,
Well, Harbor Drive is over there too, but Harbor Drive is catching them coming off that gravel road,
yeah.
so.
I would say it's the two streets is the two that seem
And
concerned.
Pinecone, they've got a petition going on Pinecone too.
Yeah, and if some of these others come up with a petition wanting them off, then yeah, that's already set. They get 60%,
We're
they're
just
gone.
saying the two that we're getting the most traffic out of right now, Eastern Shores and Old Huntington, ask those two communities to come in.
Yeah,
Are we good
that's
with that?
definitely the two.
And that would advertise the situation to give more support for
At least start that way, then
We could add more if
Yeah.
we needed to.
That's right.
because if you do them all, you won't have a building to hold.
Yeah, we won't have enough, that's.
All right, so I make a motion.
Right.
I make a motion that we post, advertise Eastern Shores Drive, Old Huntington Road, emergency speed bumps. We're gonna discuss them. They need to get, they can come and discuss it with us.
All right, so that's the only two we're gonna put on here, Eastern Shore?
Yes.
And Old Huntington Drive.
And Old Huntington Road,
Okay. Old
I'll
Huntington.
second the motion.
All right, any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Dave Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Wood.
Yes.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
All right, now, this is gonna be for the next board meeting, when this is gonna be for. Everybody clear on that? Okay, got that out of the way. All right, the next thing, agenda, we're gonna finally get to new business, that's pretty good. We're gonna discuss, the planning commission appointment. Mark Ward's time is expiring, and it's up to me to nominate somebody to go replace or renew Mark's, position on the planning, commission. I'm gonna replace Mark with Jason Bates. Jason Bates is on the, Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm gonna replace him with Eddie Bray. That's what I'm gonna like to do. Do we have to vote on that?
I'm not sure about BZA. Planning commission, we not.
Well, we didn't vote for BZA either. We'll do whatever you want. You don't vote for both of them or one of them? You don't have to do the planning commission?
I I know you don't have planning commission,
You have to for these,
you
Huh?
don't have to be there.
the appointment is made by the mayor and, confirmed by the board to the board of zoning appeals.
Okay, so they have to be, so then, so.
So I
we
make
have-
a motion.
But not on this one, right?
Not on the
No,
first
Planning
one.
commission,
What
you
I'm,
just appoint.
what I'm telling you is I'm gonna replace Mark Ward with Jason Bates,
That's done.
and that's done, all right, okay. Now, I'm gonna replace, Jason's coming off the Board of Zoning Appeals, and he will be going on, be replaced by Eddie Bray on the Board of Zoning Appeals.
So I make a motion, we put Eddie Bray on Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay,
I'll second that.
call roll.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Woods.
Yes.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
All right, 8.2, the first reading of an ordinance, text of the zoning to allow child care, family home, and also family child care home as per TCA code. We've been talking about it in the planning commission, and what has to be is, this is a new state ordinance, is that correct?
Yes, sir, state law change,
Right.
and family child care home, with two different things in the same definition. Basically, it's repealing all the use on appeal language for family daycares between 5 and 7 kids, and replacing it and allowing the use permitted. Anywhere you put single family, you can put daycare now. The one standard that will remain is for parking, because there are issues about parking, people delivering children and picking them up in the morning tonight. You can still regulate that. The standard is the same as you are using, I just updated the name.
Okay. Does everybody understand what we're doing? All right, I'll make a motion.
I make a motion.
Second. Got a second. Call roll.
Sandra Woods.
Yes.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
8.3, discuss and approve second reading of ordinance setting dumpster rates. Casey, you wanna adjust, anything you gotta say on that? Okay, everybody knows what the rates are, and we've already passed it the first time, this is for the second reading.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Have you talked to those that are gonna be involved with having the change, and everybody's good with it? Are you getting positive response out of it?
Yes, I have a list to hand out dumpsters on the way.
But you've had people already wanting them and questioning them that doing the old way?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Call roll.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Woods.
Yes.
8.4, discuss and approve second reading of ordinance amending the travel policy. Any questions on that?
I've just got one question on it. On the meal cost and allowances, in this policy, it says that if they are staying within per diem, that there are no receipts required for that per diem pay. That just kind of goes against everything in my accounting body. I think receipts should always be presented for every dollar that you spend.
Then it's not considered per diem.
It's set
You either
price.
get reimbursed or get per diem. So if you want to get reimbursed, it's receipt, otherwise it's per diem.
Basically, they get that amount of
They're
days.
getting it regardless if they spend it. That's what you're telling me on per
Per diem,
diem.
you just don't eat
You
that
just
sugar.
get it whether you spend it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Very good. Please call the roll.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Woods.
Yes.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
8.5, discuss and approve first reading of an ordinance amending the municipal code relative to the personnel director.
Mayor, I've got a couple of things on this that I would like for us to look at. The ordinance that's in front of us is 4101, general definitions, and it's showing under number 4 that the personnel director will be the mayor or his designee, which I'm in agreement with. But if you look at also the old policy, which is section 4304, that addresses the interview process. And I think that also needs to say the mayor or his designee. So if you wanted to sit in on that interview process, you certainly have got the backing to do that. If you didn't want to, your designee could be whoever's interviewing. And also on section 4306, the appointments, the hirings, etc. Let me look at it. Hold on. Okay, it says promotions and transfers shall be made by department heads subject to approval by the CFO for budgetary purposes. If you'll remember, wasn't long after I was elected, I went around and sat down and talked with our department heads, and our department heads, so crippled because we can't approve transfers back and forth. We can't do this, we can't do that. We've tried that, and I think all hires, all transfers, all employment should be run through the mayor and the board of aldermen.
Where are you at, Donna? What page are you on?
I'm in 4-5, appointments and hirings. It's,
We don't have that in.
no, I pulled the actual policy, Title IV policy. I can show you. I can pass it down and show you.
Is what you're saying there, you want the mayor and the board of aldermen to do the hiring and not the department heads?
No, I want, the department said they can do that, but what we're saying is that the mayor is, the personnel director, that he or his designee can sit in on any hiring interview, and that all hires and all transfers come through this board of aldermen.
Well, that's putting the board of aldermen hiring and not the department head.
No, the department head can make the decision. The issue is that when I did that, that's not working out real well. We're advertising for jobs and we're hiring people that don't have the qualifications that we've advertised for, when we had applicants that did have the qualifications.
Well, I think if you have a problem, then you've got the problem with the department head, and that's what you need to address, or we would need to address, rather than take away from. I certainly don't know in the other departments. They might have a little in the police department, but who they should hire and not hire.
Well, I'm not trying to tell Chief Middleton who to hire. We would say, Chief Middleton, we would go back to just like it was. If they're making a transfer or they're a new hire, used to, that had to go through and be appointed or approved by our CFO, and most of the time it was brought before this board, and the board was approving the hiring of the employee, were they not?
That was at one time.
Yes.
But if the board doesn't approve, then the department don't hire.
That's exactly right.
We're really hiring or not, when
Well,
you get down.
that's when you gotta trust your department
I understand,
heads.
but I just think we hold the department heads accountable for that, rather than taking something away
agree.
that works. That they know.
But it's not.
They would know better than I would, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
So can the mayor not sit in on the interviews currently, the current policy does, because he's the CFO?
He's not the personnel director as it reads.
But he's over everyone.
I agree, he is.
Well, they changed, in 2012, Bobby Dyer give the HR person, Susan was over the HR person. It's on this right here. I don't know where it's at. And, let's see. Give me a minute. Yes, the draft, and here's the one before it. Okay. And, I'm sorry, January
It was in 2008.
2008, I'm sorry. On page 39, where it's at.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
39. What it was is past that time that Bobby Dyer let the city recorder or their designee be over the HR, what it was.
But I'm just saying, the mayor position, I know you're currently mayor, but just all the time, they still have the ability though to know what's going on and be a part of it. I think that's my thought process of the current role, but I mean, I'm asking, I mean, is it that you, the mayor position, not you personally, but the mayor position can't, or?
I had a meeting with all the department heads about 3 weeks ago, and we discussed this issue. And the issue is when we hire somebody, they go through the HR, okay? Correct. They post a job and they do it. And we let the department heads do all the interviews and all the hiring. All that I asked them was, I said, I would like to be present when they do the job interviews, if I elect to, the job interviews and listen to the interviews. The reason being is because if you have qualifications, I want to be able to say in a test that this happened and it was done correctly, not have where somebody comes up later on and says they didn't go through it correctly. That's all I asked for. And I found out the ordinance says that actually the the city recorder does that because it's been passed on to them. So that's the reason this amendment was put in there, so I could go back and do it. I don't have to sit in on it, but I have the option to do that.
Got no problem with that whatsoever and think that's a good idea. So where did the hiring coming back through the board, that come from you?
No, I didn't put anything about the hiring for the board.
So that wasn't discussed?
What I discussed with them was.
I'm just asking, I don't know.
And I guess what they're saying is the way I understand this is, they want to bring it, but it's not any different because even when Jeff hires somebody or anybody hires somebody, they always come in here and tells us, we give them permission to hire, and they do.
Still need to do that.
Huh?
We still need to do that.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. They certainly
That
do.
ain't changing, it's the same.
But that's what we're doing now, correct?
What?
They're getting permission to hire.
Yeah,
If you'll remember, after I first came onto the board,
they always ask permission.
I made a motion and we passed it unanimously.
Yeah, prior to
But it's not to me, they're asking for, the board would get final say to veto the hire that they made.
That's where I'm
That's what I don't-
misunderstanding.
I don't just-
I guess I'm misunderstanding. After I was first elected, I went to every department head, and department heads told me that they were being a little bit handicapped because they couldn't transfer from, like if an employee went from one department to another, that they might be 60, 90, 120 days out before they could hire someone. I made a motion, one of the first motions sitting on this board, was to give the department head the power that if they had an interdepartmental transfer, that they could hire.
Yes.
Okay? That's what we did, and we passed that unanimously.
Okay.
So we've had a situation where that very thing happened. And we ran a job description and an ad that said we need these qualifications. We had people that applied with those qualifications. They weren't selected for the job.
Okay.
People that didn't have those qualifications were selected for the job. So if I need to make a motion to say that interdepartmental transfers can no longer be handled by a department head without approval of this board, I don't know. You tell me how to fix that. That's what I want stopped.
You need to address that
So
situation.
are you saying, since you made that motion, you're only aware of one time that happened?
That's, well,
Out of
we ain't
how
had that many.
We hadn't had that many transfers or hired since you made that motion?
No, sir, I've only been sitting on this board 4 months.
Wait, were you not here once before?
No, sir,
You didn't sit on this board before?
26 years ago. I'm talking about since I was just elected.
That's why I'm trying to catch up with.
Yeah, that was one of the first motions I made
Okay, and we've had one
that I'm aware
that
of.
you're aware of. That's what I'm asking. So, as long as we're not taking the department, I'm one, but as long as we're not taking the hiring away from the department heads,
The hires need to be approved. They need to make recommendations to the board, and the
What-
board needs to approve.
What about
Or if the mayor is our
that?
personnel director and and.
He
and
can
the human-
approve.
And that's right. He can veto it if he doesn't want that particular person
So-
Or if something's in question, he could say, can we take this one to the board?
to the board.
So in other words, if Justin Roach comes in and he does an interview and this is who he wants to hire, but he's gonna come to the board and say, I wanna hire Joe Blow here, and we're gonna say yes or no?
No.
Well,
I'm just asking.
If-
hired Joe Blow, and
if-
then we get to say, no, we don't wanna do that.
if the
And
person,
that's us doing the hiring.
if he is the personnel director and they have to come through HR through him because he is over that person, the personnel director would report to the mayor, then that will give him that power. But we need to take that power back of that interdepartmental transfer without any sit-in by the mayor. That's what I'm getting at.
I think if you make him the true personnel director, it takes care of all of this. If the mayor is the personnel director, then there is no, he can sit in on any interview if he wants. And then a true personnel director, anybody that changes position or gets hired, is gonna run through the personnel director.
He's the mayor, he can sit in on anything. that he
That's
wants
not
to
what
sit
your,
in on.
that's not what your policy
I'm
says.
just making a statement.
Your-
Only,
your-
the only reason I asked
That's
about
fine.
doing that is
This is
because
Oh, I know. That's why I said it needs to change. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I know. That's part of that stack over there, I hope. It still says, according to our paperwork, that we're supposed to do all of it. We're supposed to sit on interviews.
Yes, it does say any member of the board can sit in on an interview.
Doesn't say we have to,
we
Chief.
just.
No, I said can. That's what I said. It said we
That
can.
includes the mayor though, right?
No, sir.
It doesn't have him listed.
I would be
He's
okay
not
with
listed.
amending that then to say the mayor can as well as the board members, but
That's-
not have to, that would be my.
Okay, so here's a section 4306. Y'all just tell me about this one, and then we'll move on. Like, I'm not trying to be combative, I'm just trying to say. It says, promotions and transfers shall be made by department heads subject to approval by the CFO for budgetary purposes. Doesn't say one word about,
That's just approving the funds to pay that position, not
I
the hiring
understand.
of that position or transfer of that.
but
person.
before that, it does say the appointments and hirings shall be made or authorized by the board in accordance with lawful provisions of the municipal charter and code. So I think if we change 401 and then add section 4304 interviews just to add the mayor or his designee will be good.
I know I'm still lost, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, this is something we need to get.
So,
If we're not doing anything with that four something that you're mentioning,
That you're
Yes.
talking
Then I'm
about,
good,
it's
but
not
if
on
we
the
are, then
agenda,
I'm
that
still
we
off.
can't see.
You talking about the appointments and hirings?
You keep reading off section 430 whatever, and all we have is section 4101.
I pulled this
But it
policy.
should be on the agenda if that's what we were gonna talk about, and you're over there calling all this off, and we don't even have it in front of us.
When I seen an ordinance to amend the personnel policy, I went and pulled the municipal personnel policy from the code. Like, nobody gave it to me, I just went and pulled it.
But you're presenting something to us you want us to vote on that's not even on here, that we haven't even had a chance to look at. And that's all we hear is transparency, transparency. Well, I don't have this in front of me, so I'm not voting for something that I don't have in front of me.
Well, I can put it right here in front of you.
Well, no, I don't have time to do it now. I should have had that over the weekend.
It's three
I'm
lines.
sorry, I'm not.
Okay,
discussing
that's
that.
fine.
I'm sorry.
I will make a motion that we approve this ordinance with the amendment of section 4304 interviews, that the mayor or his designee is added to that section.
I'll second that.
Okay, Donna,
Yes, sir.
does that include the,
The appointments and hirings already by this ordinance have to be coming through here. That's what it says. Appointments, hirings shall be made or authorized by the board in accordance with lawful provisions of the municipal charter and code. That's what the
so are we
policy
still
reads.
giving the department heads the permission to hire, or are we going to approve who they're hiring?
No, they can hire, but he has the authority to sit in on that interview before that decision is made. The mayor does.
So we got, this is the first reading.
Yes,
You'll have
sir.
2 readings.
Yes, sir,
So we'll have something to look at and know exactly what it's saying next time.
that's correct.
And we're not taking the hiring away from or the transfers away from the department heads in your motion. Is that correct?
Not in this motion.
Okay.
But the board has the ability to reject a hiring that
That's not in
The
this
board,
motion.
the board always has had that.
Board's always.
don't think so.
No.
No, I don't
That's
think so.
not,
It does.
not since I've been on the
That's where
board,
I'm
we hadn't
confused.
come and said, Joe Blow, we wanna hire Joe Blow,
No, I mean,
and
if
Sandra
somebody-
says, no, we're not.
They just tell us who they hire.
I'm gonna give you a hypothetical situation. So if you hire somebody, and after you hire somebody, you find out there's a reason they shouldn't be here, the board can ask for somebody to be removed. It's in the policy is what it is.
But it's gotta be
But it has to be a reason. It ain't just because you don't like them, it has to be a reason.
Or 'cause you don't agree with who they hire.
Right. It has to be, and not because you disagree with the hiring. It has to be a reason is what it has to be.
So in this motion,
That's why I'm afraid that we're changing, is that the board now would have the ability to.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
it
made
has
him
to
the
be for-
person.
That's what I'm trying to
but
make
it's
sure.
not
Prior,
effective
but
until
this
you
is,
got
this
to
sounds like this is
I
going to
agree.
make it to where the board could say no with no reason.
right here.
Call for
Yeah,
the
I thought
vote.
that, I was just making sure.
Call the roll.
Yeah, I was just making
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes,
Judy White,
Yeah.
Gabe Williams,
No.
Sandra Wood,
No,
Chip Clark,
Yes,
Roger Lofton.
No.
Board passes 4-3. All right, we'll move on to,
eight,
all right, we gotta discuss the first reading of an ordinance amending the fiscal 2025-2026 year budget, and that's on page, I'll have to get it, and I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can. We have 2 items on here, that's basically, page 41, if you'll look at this first figure and the decrease, and it says pay in lieu of taxes, electric utilities. The comptroller has cut what we receive in taxes by $65,737. So that means we're gonna have a shortfall because they cut that much. The next item will be, if you look at our general expenses, it's about, we find the fund balance at the bottom right above, it says general expenses. That's on page 41, you see that? General expenses, everybody found that? And what it has in it, it has a total of $40,326. So that's $105,000 is what that is, and that is reference to the legal settlement that we all voted today. So we got decreased in our fund revenue and that. Now, some other jargon goes down through here. It's a few dollars off, but the bulk of it is, a major reason we're doing this is because we have lost that much money, is what it is.
So
Mate.
instead of-
But we did not vote. When we settled the legal thing, we already had a budget done, so we took it out of the general fund, so now we have to amend the budget saying, okay, we took it out of the general fund. Okay, and then, go ahead.
Are you saying that this is increasing our deficit by theoretically from 500,000 using it out of the rainy day or the undesignated funds?
It means that what it means is the money we will receive to cover that, it will increase it, not decrease
It
it.
would increase, okay.
Okay,
That's what yes, sir.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is we're not getting in lieu of taxes, so that means we have to have more money. And that's what we're asking for, is a budget amendment to cover the cost that we've increased.
And we're gonna be taking that from,
It's coming out,
Unassigned fund balance.
which will further decrease our unassigned, but I know we probably hadn't got a choice, but
Yeah.
it's gonna further take our fund balance down from the 500,000 that we thought we were gonna be under to over 600,000 now.
that's correct. Mayor, can I ask a question? I'm looking at this, and we're talking, I see on this agenda on down through here, we have a hiring freeze, but in this budget ordinance, we have almost $25,000 for personnel director for 4 months. There is, on our agenda to bid out our mowing, we have $15,000 on here for a lawnmower that was over budgeted, that came in over, I guess that increase is only about $3,000. So, I'm
Fran is fixing to retire. So if we hire a new HR, then she will be drawing her salary and we'll have to fund.
If we hire.
We did not know at the time when we did her budget that she was fixing to retire. So what we do is she will be drawing her salary as she works her time out. And if we replace that person, we have to have the money in the budget to pay her.
Okay, I picked this up from Brad today because I wanted to get clarification on this pilot. Gabe, will you take one of those and pass it down? And this shows the fiscal year 2021, 23, 24, 25, and now you can see in 2026 where we've started going down. And he has explained in each one of those, this pie graph, this chart that's showing where it went up and then it went down. And his comment to me was that biggest thing was the decrease in the plant value because we got a huge grant reimbursement from the state on this broadband project. And when we did, they had to put that back in as a reimbursement for that build out. And in essence, that's what created this pilot decrease, okay? And of course, the second driver was equalization, the equalization ratio.
That was done by the comptroller because we got the grant.
Well, I hate to increase the deficit, there's really no choice. You got to.
Well, we're doing a budget amendment and we can't legally spend the money without the budget.
I understand, we don't have a choice.
That's what we're
Well,
saying.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we're fixing to put in a hiring freeze, I'm not for voting for a budget amendment that's got almost $25,000 increase in it, for 4 months of
You wanna take it out?
well,
All you gotta do.
maybe we need to vote on the hiring freeze first and come back to this, Mayor.
Whatever y'all wanna do, I'm open wherever you do. Where is the hiring freeze at? 8.11? 8.11 is the hiring freeze.
Yes, sir.
All right, what we'll do, we'll move down to 8.11 and we'll discuss and approve a hiring freeze. And if we do the hiring freeze, then we won't have to, we can take out that much of that budget.
So we're not giving the police department any leeway in hiring two people?
Well,
We're gonna do the hiring freeze.
here's what we're discussing here tonight, okay?
Yeah.
He has 2 vacancies, okay? Is this for hiring freeze and no more hiring? Or are we gonna only fill as vacancy come open, and that's what we do? That's what the question before the board is.
Maybe let's jump to the police and then we'll come back to the hiring freeze. Let's jump to the police and then let's go back to the hiring freeze.
Like, we're fixing to jump again.
All right, we're gonna do,
Police department now.
How about, Jimmy, if we go to the police department vacancy and then we'll come back to the hiring freeze? Would that work better?
That'll work better.
All right.
Because well, we've talked, Chief and I have talked about this thing, okay?
Mayor, will that be okay?
He has 5 people.
I'm willing to bend whatever y'all wish to do.
Okay.
Let's go to 8.8. We'll try it again, Jeff. All right, we're gonna do approve filling the vacancies in the police department. We have,
I've talked with him, and he has 5 positions that's down now, and 1 more going tomorrow. Going in May. And he hadn't hired anybody in like 6 months, so, I mean, sooner or later, you're gonna have to hire somebody. He wants 2 people right now. That's what he needs,
this board can approve it.
okay?
I think you've asked to hire 2 people, correct? Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion, you have 2 vacancies that you need.
Have a second.
Second.
Got a second. Call the roll.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Kenny White,
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Wood.
Yes.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton,
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
All right, now let's go back to 8.11. Well, before I go there, is anything else that would mess with the budget at this time? Because,
Fire department grant, but.
we got grant, surplus equipment, that ain't no big deal. Vacancy took care of, okay, so.
This fire department grant, is there money in this budget amendment, or is this a matching grant?
There's no match.
Okay.
It's 100%, so it's.
There you go.
All right, so
We can go to the hiring freeze.
So we're going back to the hiring freeze, 8.11, discuss and approve the hiring freeze.
All right, on this hiring freeze, Casey brought up, he's supposed to be hiring his seasonal help.
So there's
For the-
7 of them total, I think there may be 1 or 2 that's not returning, so we would need to start that process. We'll probably have to go to lifeguard training and take a little while to do that.
Those are the ones that work on the cemetery?
Sir,
Those are the ones on the cemetery?
no, this is for
The rec,
it's.
Swimming pool.
Sorry.
oh, okay.
Either we have to approve to hire the lifeguards and do the pool, or we close it. So what he's asking, do you want him to go ahead and get the people lined up to work at the pool this summer? It's a seasonal job, it lasts, what, 4 months?
Be the last, Monday in May, so it'll be June, July, and, 9th and August.
And we hire people that are already lifeguard certified?
Yes, and then if they can't, I put it in the budget for training to get their certification.
We don't need to be paying for somebody to get their lifeguard certification. I'm sorry, what?
That's y'all's prerogative, opinion, or whatever y'all want to do. It's $500.
Yeah, we
I
don't need
don't
to
know
be.
many 16-year-old kids got $500.
How many do you train a year, average?
We don't train any of them.
I'm talking about, do you pay to have them trained?
How many are you paying to get their lifeguard?
I did that last year, so it was, 3 or 4.
So we spent $2,000, $500 a piece on 4 people.
I think it was 400 and some change off the top of my head.
Did we have any returning lifeguards, or they'd be all new?
No, most of them are returning. I think we may have 1 or 2 that's not returning.
I'll make a motion that he can hire 2 certified lifeguards, but not, we don't need to be hiring people and then paying them to go get their lifeguard certification.
So you're making a motion to hire as long as the lifeguards are certified? Yes, sir.
Where's this at on the agenda? What's this falling under?
Because it needs to be done before a hiring freeze. If he's gotta have people.
We may
You
not
got
vote
to
for a
get
hiring
this
freeze.
together.
I agree.
This is leading, to say the least.
Now, I know what Sandra's saying, what this got to do with
Yeah.
hiring freeze?
It does, everybody's not for that, so
Well,
we're leading.
we're,
We're all over the map is what we're at. We are
That's
from
right. We
here to
just-
here, and no, the left hand don't know what the right hand's doing.
I would totally agree with you, Sandra.
Thank
I
you.
agree
So
too.
we're gonna go straight down it, whichever way it falls.
That's what we need to do.
Agenda that I'm not aware of. and it's
All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 8.6.
Looks bad on our
8.6,
city to lead something.
I agree. We're gonna do 8.6, right down the agenda. We ain't gonna change nothing. Discuss and approve the first reading of ordinance amending a fiscal 25-26 budget, and you know the reasons we got amended. So we can either vote on it, yes or no.
I make the motion, we do that.
I second.
Call roll.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Gay Williams,
Yes.
Sandra Woods,
Yes.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross.
yes.
All right, 8.7, discuss or approve social media broadcast proposal. Yeah,
I have been successful in getting this almost complete, but I need a little bit more time. So I'm asking from the board, I've got half the proposal in, I'm waiting on the other half to get some solid numbers. I got some information that I didn't have previously to interface with the existing equipment, so I just need a little bit more time to bring it back to you. So I would ask you to let me bring it to the next available opportunity.
I make a motion, we table it.
got a motion to table.
Mayor, can I ask that, for years, I don't know how long, our meetings have been being broadcast with an iPhone, just like what's sitting right back here.
Then you can discuss.
Jimmy, did you make a motion?
Second.
To table.
All right, now you can talk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
We have, our citizens have for several years now watched our board meetings on an iPhone, okay? And so our city of Lexington already has a Facebook page that's set up. We have administrators, I'm assuming, over our city of Lexington Facebook page. until such time as we can get these quotes and stuff back. In the interest of transparency, I would ask that we consider taking our cell phone, just like what has been done for years that people are watching us on, and broadcast this through our City of Lexington Facebook page until something can be finalized further.
Is that a motion? What is that?
That's what we're trying to
I
do, right?
can't make a motion,
Wait
there's a
a minute,
motion on the
wait a minute.
floor.
That's what Jeff's doing.
He's trying to get us all equipment, I get that, so we need to vote that. I don't,
Wait a minute. Donna's making a remark. I've got a motion to approve we do this, or actually table it's what it's for. And we got a second to table it. So we either vote to table it, and then we can either amend this, or we can make a motion on what Donna's talking about. But we have to vote on this one first, the table.
That's to give the chief more time, right?
Right.
And us not broadcast it with our phone.
All right, that's a different deal.
Call the roll.
Dave Williams,
Yes, to table it.
Right.
Okay.
We table it.
Sandra Wood.
Yes.
Chip Clark,
yes.
Roger Lofton,
Yes.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
No.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Now,
All right.
so now we can discuss. Or can we not?
Now we're gonna do 8.9, discuss approve police department surplus equipment.
Mayor, I was under the understanding we could discuss the temporary.
That's what she wants to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's not on
can
the
we
Yeah,
not
we can.
discuss that?
It's not on the agenda, and we
not on
tabled
the
the
agenda.
agenda item. We can't go back with
But my
Robert's rules.
understanding was that we said we would.
That's what
No,
we
she's
said.
making a comment, what I'm trying to say. She said, she recommended us doing that, but we tabled a motion to do what we're doing.
Is there any problem with doing it whether we vote to do it or not?
No, let's talk.
No, I'm just saying, in broadcasting, do we have to vote on it for somebody to set it up and broadcast it?
I don't see why we
I don't
would.
see why we would. They do it every meeting we
That's what I'm
have.
asking.
Yeah, you
Can
put
we
in
do
that-
that without actually,
I think it needs to be done,
me too, that's why,
so let's just say do it.
I'm not savvy enough to do that, so, but
Chief,
if somebody would.
can that be
I
done?
don't see no problem with that being done.
Chief said he's gotta happen.
Let's
Thank you,
move
sir.
on to 8.10.
If
Chief's
we
gonna
get in
make
trouble,
it
we'll
happen.
just answer it.
She's got it.
8.9.
Jeff's gonna make it happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Try for 8.9, discuss approve policy department surplus equipment.
I've got just a few items on that list, hopefully you saw it was in the packet, a couple of vehicles that's end of their life and some equipment that you always have to use, so I think any questions you may have. Just ask for permission to surplus.
So, make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Call the roll.
Sandra Wood,
Yes.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton,
Yes.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Dave Williams.
Yes.
Next, to discuss approve the fire grant.
Hopefully you saw in your packet, this was, assistance firefighter grant for volunteers, it's $18,741.37. It is no match, it's a state grant, and it's going to purchase, some radio equipment, hopefully, and some matching funds on our paramedic, our AG grant. I just need your permission to do so.
I make a motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton,
Yes.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Dave Williams,
Yes.
Sandra Wood.
Yes.
Now, I wanna inject something in right here. I had a meeting last Friday with Kustoff. He come by to look, see what we may or may not need. We just discovered that some of the grants we have to fund the fire department, they're clawing back 20% of that money. So we're gonna get a decrease in the police funding that the state's giving us right now. We just got that. And that's coming down, I guess, from the federal government, isn't it?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Well,
It's federal money that the state administers, so I want everybody to be aware of that. Because I had a discussion with Kustoff about it, so he would know what we're dealing with. He was not aware of it. I gave him the letter that we got from the state, but I want the board to know that we're dealing with that now, and there may be more of that. So,
They're cutting 20% off the grant.
off the grant. If you got 20,000, I mean, if you got $100,000, they took 20,000 back.
Will that affect this fiscal year or start?
All it just says the grants that we received, and it should be for this fiscal year.
Okay, so we'll,
It's,
so
that,
we'll,
that funding's based on the federal fiscal year, it started in October, and it affected first quarter, so we've had to go back, and it's the contract amount, not the amount you've already spent. So it's a pretty significant deal, it's federal pass-through money, but yeah, that's the first time since about 2006 I've seen that happen, so.
There was a lot of nonprofits like
Yes.
that have been severely impacted
so
by
we're,
this
so we're
rollback.
obligated for that 20%, is that, because we've
Yes,
already made.
unfortunately, it's,
He's got it covered.
I've got it covered.
But
I've got
if
it
it-
covered.
what he's- what
I've
Jeff
got a
was-
budget adjustment, and I've got it covered, so it's not gonna be a problem.
Okay.
It's just, those are the things we're gonna, the uncertainty in the federal government has created some of this.
Well, right now, the way it stands, if we don't want the board to be aware of this, we don't know if it cut any more or not, because it has to do with Homeland Security. The government shutdown, getting partially funded, that's what it is. But Kustoff says he wasn't aware they'd done that, and he's gonna check into it, so. But anyway, I just wanted the board to know that. All right, we're down at 8.11, discuss, approve hiring freeze.
Mayor, I just want to say on this, we have voted to amend tonight to make you our personnel director. That has to have a second reading on it. And I believe that a hiring freeze needs to be put in place until that it has the second reading and is in effect.
That a motion?
I can make it in the form of a motion.
Do it.
Make a motion.
Second.
Call roll.
Roger Lofton,
Can we discuss so that I understand?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
We're doing a hiring freeze, and it's subject to the second reading of making you the director, is that correct?
Well, make it maybe, where I can interview, interviews and be it.
Can we put that on the agenda for the next utilities meeting that we have, so that we can get that done, so that if we do have something that comes up, that we can address the hiring that much quicker?
Can you do general fund, you can't do general fund hiring on that utility board,
Well,
can
we're not
you?
gonna hire anybody, we're just gonna approve
But can we do city
Well, we could do a
business?
special call meeting before.
Yeah, we
Yes.
could.
You do it. You
Is
do
that
it
good?
special.
I mean, is that good for
Absolutely.
everybody to go
Yeah, you can
ahead,
do
so
it.
that we can
Yeah.
Get
not,
on with
if,
it.
if we get in a bind, we're not hung out for a month.
Yes.
We'd have to advertise it, that it's also.
I understand.
Okay, but we'd have to do that meeting and then go into
If,
the
if
utility.
we can put it, if we can put it on
I'm good
that,
with that,
I'm
Roger.
good. Thank you.
Sounds good.
And then we're doing a specific timeline for the hiring freeze. Like,
Until such time as the second
Right,
reading is
second reading
done.
of that.
okay, so that's the, okay.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Gabe Williams,
Yes.
Sandra Woods, Chip Clark.
Yes.
All right, 8.12. I put this on here about the grass mowing bid. We are gonna put out the cemetery, and did we ever put it out, Cody?
No.
Okay. Here's what I would like to do. I would like me and Casey to go around, and there may be some other areas that we could put in with that mowing, that would take a little off the mowing.
I know the utilities would like to get in on that.
Huh?
Justin would like for his grass mowing to be pitched in with this.
So we have multiple areas that we mow, and what we'd like to do, if we have a very large area or defined area, we'd like to, if we do the bid on the cemetery, we'd like to include that in it. That's what this is on here for. And we'll come back to the board and we'll tell you what we recommend to put out for bid in the areas we got, and then we'll bid on that.
I don't know if I can work this in with what we're discussing, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
We have a lot of properties that we mow that we don't need to own.
That's correct.
100%.
And so in doing that, could you also see what we could eliminate mowing by not owning any more and seeing what we can surplus and sell?
I have, let's let's make that a separate issue, okay? It's really not.
Can't discuss it tonight.
But let's
Well,
do it.
The reason I'm saying is, I totally agree with what you just said.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand.
Cody and I have talked about, we have properties that we have, is it worth a whole lot, we don't know, but we could disavow ourselves from this property, and we should do that, and what we will do is recommend a list of property that we don't want to run them, that we do not want to mow no more, and we would bring to the board as surplus and sell it. Is that fair enough?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'd like to see happen.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So do you need anything on this grass mowing, or you just need
I
approval to get that done?
I need a motion to do what I just
I make a
said.
motion to give him approval to get this together.
I say.
Call the roll.
Tim Rhodes,
Yes.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Jimmy White,
Yes.
Gabe Williams,
Yes.
Sandra Woods,
Yes.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
All right, the last item on the agenda is 8.14, approve the charter change. Did all y'all have a copy of that? Basically what that does, it go ahead and it puts the department heads back in. Department heads can live in Henderson County, and the deal is the mayor can do a tie vote. If it happens to be a tie vote, he has the right to vote in a Franklin tie. And the last thing is, if they have a person that dies or whatever quits, then his election, he'll have to go in the next general election and be voted on.
Mayor, before we vote on that, I'd like to address, Mr. Wood, our city recorder. Cody, I was talking with local officials last week up in our elected officials in Nashville, and, just in conversation, they were bragging on the city, how well we were getting along. And he sure was glad that we had gotten our charter worked out and sent to the state. I was floored, absolutely floored. There's not been a second reading on this charter.
Don't require one.
I'm sorry?
Don't require one reading.
Then why have we repetitively put it on here for a second reading? Why do the minutes reflect what this board wants changed in that charter? But that's not what was sent to the state of Tennessee. The charter change that was submitted to the state of Tennessee is not what has been discussed by this board since September. The hours that have been spent collectively and individually on this charter change, I don't have an adjective to describe the overreach of authority that is, Cody. I don't have an adjective to describe that.
The board voted on a change November 24th.
They voted on a first reading with, and by the way, the November 24th minutes that are supplied, that were approved by this board, are not accurate. They don't reflect the motion that I made. I have the transcript of it, and I have it right here in video on my phone. I'll be glad to play it. What's on my phone is not what's in this written record. The charter change that you sent, did it take out those additional paragraphs under the city recorder section that were added without the previous board's knowledge?
It only addressed the resolution that's in the packet.
It only addressed the mayoral powers, didn't it?
That's the only thing that's in the packet.
Cody, go back and look at our minutes. 8.2 said restore mayoral powers. 8.3 said charter change. Mr. Whitehead stood right here and told this board, you need to pass an ordinance to restore his power until such time as this charter can be changed. His words, 6, 8 months, this will all be over. But what we did, what you did, was send a charter amendment to the state of Tennessee, to our legislature, that only had one reading, and the reading that it had specifically, the motion I made specifically said to take out those two paragraphs under the city recorder to restore our department head verbiage. None of that was sent to the state. Only thing that was sent to the state was restoring mayoral powers in our charter. Under what authority did you send that to the state of Tennessee?
That's not what the minutes reflect.
The minutes are wrong. You wanna listen to the audio? There's a reason I have all of those little zip drives laying all over my desk, Cody.
So there's about the audio or the first minute?
The Tennessee Open Meetings Act says that actions of the board supersede anything that has been approved in a minutes. That's what the Open Meetings Act says. I have passed out to all the aldermen sitting here a copy of every bit of this with a timeline that starts back in September. It goes through our October 27 Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. It goes through November. It's got private emails where you have submitted them to me. Even back in December, you had submitted an email to me that Mr. Whitehead had sent. And I said, this is not what the board has wanted. This is not what the board has called you. We talked about it. But somehow, it got sent to our state legislature anyway. It is an overreach of your authority. You do not have the authority to do that, Cody. You just don't. Mr. Wood, I think you're a very smart man, and I have a lot of respect for you, and I like you as a person. There seems to be an issue with the acceptance of authority in that position. I don't know where that came from. And Mayor, I hate to do this. I truly do. I'm going to make a motion to suspend you for 10 business days without pay. And at that time, that day will be March the 9th, same day as our utility meeting. We've already discussed a special called session. I would ask that if this motion passes, that we put 2 additional items on that agenda, the first being the correction of these minutes. These minutes are messed up all through here. The second would be the discussion of the continuance of his employment with the city of Lexington. That's my motion. Anybody got a second for that?
I'll second it.
And I have questions about the charter thing. The thing that I remember voting on the charter is exactly what we put in the city ordinance was voted on to put into the charter. Till we could, we put it in an ordinance. We voted to put that in the charter and passed it. That's the only change that I remember making.
Do you want me to play?
I'm just telling you the only change I remember making.
I've got the audio right here. I'll be glad to play it
So
for you.
Mr. Whitehead should be supporting this. He is the one that advised, and I remember specifically saying, so all we're doing is putting back what we inadvertently left out. There was no additions other than adding back. So again, I don't have any information to dispute what you're saying tonight, but he is the one that should be supporting this. He's our advisor. He was.
That's the only thing I remember passing was.
Me too. I agree. There should be no other changes from the previous charter.
And then we were going to submit that so that we could get it done and.
This is the motion that was made.
Resolution around the charter amendment. Now, the charter was changed several ways, different things. Understanding, give me just a second here. The main reason that we changed it was so department heads could live outside the city and that the mayor could also vote in case of a tie vote. That were the 2 main things that was supposed to be done. And we did, except there was some other verbiage got put in and some verbiage got left out. So what we're asking for is the approval to put the charter back like it was, with the exception of leaving those 2 things in where the mayor can vote in case of a tie and the department heads can live outside the city. That's what it is. Now, there's 2 or 3 other things that got left out, and in this packet, I don't think we have everything it is, but there's going to be 2 readings And what I'd like to do, if it's approved on the first reading, we'll give it to you in entirety, the second reading, so you can read it to prove it before we send it up. We've got to get it right this time. And I've had some questions about department heads and what the mayor does and everything, but we'd like to go back, take the old charter and put it together and do it. But this time I'd like to just go ahead and vote that we do this, and I'll bring it back, and we're going to have a call meeting in December to do this so we can get it set up to ask for to have it up there in January, and like to have it for our next regular monthly meeting. So I told him we would do this. But you will get the vote, I'll send it out, and you'll get to look at it as in entirety, that what we're fixing to send up before we vote in December.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we pass this resolution on this first reading of this charter change, that the department head verbiage is reinstated, and that the additional paragraphs that were inserted under section 13, the last two paragraphs are omitted.
Got a motion? Do I have a second to that motion?
That's the motion that
Well,
was made.
there's got to be some discussion after that.
Yeah, here. But that motion passed.
I can't hear it.
A3 is discuss approved resolution.
That's it. That motion that I just made, that we just heard, passed on a unanimous roll call vote on the first reading of our charter. And the mayor clearly states that we've got to have 2 readings of our charter before it can be changed. But somehow, our charter got sent to the state, only restoring mayoral powers.
That was what I thought we voted on.
I'm getting a lot of 2023 vibes. Just telling you, being honest.
I am too, trying to be.
I know you are.
You know, I just didn't understand we voted on anything other than what we put in that city ordinance.
I know that we voted to have that we were going to get a copy of the edited, however you want to call it, charter that we could read over and vote a second time and then send it in. Right? I'm asking. That's the way I understood and remember what happened.
We were,
That, I understood from that, yes.
Okay.
the motion that, and there is another meeting where Mr. White, Alderman White, says, we want it put back like it was. We want our department head verbiage put back in there. We want our mayor to be able to break a tie. We want our department heads to live in the county, and everybody, and all the extra stuff that was put in there that the board didn't vote on, took out.
Mr. Whitehead had told us.
No, not Mr. Whitehead, Alderman White.
I understand, but I'm saying Mr. Whitehead had told us there was a problem with putting the department head verbiage back in there and leaving what we had in there. And I wouldn't have voted on that realizing that we were doing something he told us not to do. What he told us to do was put the mayor's power in an ordinance and then put that ordinance in the charter change, and that was all I understood that we voted for. And if we can go at some point in time through the whole meeting, I think somebody's going to have said, are we changing this right here? And the answer was yes.
The motion that
I'm just saying.
okay.
At the end of the day.
And until we understand, I mean, I'm not sending anybody home till I understand, and I do not.
So do you think that we have sent a charter change to the state of Tennessee with 1 reading, and that is not an overreach of a position?
I can't tell you where it takes 1 or 2 readings. Cody says 1. I don't know if it takes 2. And I guess my question would be, Mayor, did you know it got sent, or had you gotten it back, or did you approve it being sent, or what? What do you know about it?
I know that Cody come in and showed what he sent up there. I did not know it had been sent.
Okay.
Didn't know what?
I did not know that he had sent it. When I knew it had been sent, he come in and he showed me that he had sent up there, and they sent back with a few changes made to it. When I read over it, it was basically what the ordinance we voted on and not the charter change. So, I mean.
Well, that was what I understand it was going to be, but did you think anything was done wrong in getting sent up there, I guess is what I'm asking.
Roger, I'm going to put it this way. If you send something to Nashville, at least we should know, or all me, exactly what's sent up there. Now, did he do an error in sending them what we what was voted on, or did we not wait till we done the second reading on the charter? That's for y'all to decide. But what I'm trying to say is, what he sent up there is not really what was supposed to be, what we were supposed to change.
Roger, if you look in this packet that just was sent to you, that I just passed down to you, all I did, this is all minutes and agendas, okay? And if you go back and you look in, let me see which month it was. Is it November? Let me look. I'm sorry. I can find it though. Okay. Look at your special called session, December 3rd, 2025. Number 10 on that special called meeting is discuss and approve resolution for charter amendment number 2. That was tabled on December the 3rd. The mayor was going to get this charter information together and bring it back for a second reading. In no other minutes that I can find or agenda is this brought up again. There's a resolution to restore the mayor's powers per Mr. Whitehead's recommendation. But there is nowhere else that it's brought up for a second reading of charter amendment. And as it's important that people understand, this governs our city. This is not to be taken lightly. This is the charter of the city of Lexington. It spells out the duties and the responsibilities of everyone.
I have a question. What happens now if this has already been sent to Nashville and it's not correct? Are we fixing to have to redo this again?
Brock put it in a garbage can.
Okay.
Yeah, I told Cody to tell him. You called and told him, didn't you? Not to vote on it.
Yes, after I discussed this with the mayor, he said, put this on pause, I'd like to go over like additional changes.
We've got a motion and a second on the floor, Mayor.
I don't have enough reason to send somebody home.
Changing your charters to this city without the authorization of this board is not reason I don't know whatever will be, Roger. I'm not being disrespectful.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, is it the one or two? Has he done it in the past?
It's always had.
Have you done this any different in the past?
What I would like to do
The
is,
difference is this time we requested a draft from General Assembly for the board to look over it again.
I'd like to know one thing. Let's go back to the original charter we had. We voted in the meeting, to give the mayor, to break the tie on the vote, right? And to let the people that didn't have to live in the city to live in the county. Those two things, right? That's what we voted on.
Originally in 2023.
Yeah, that's what we voted on. Then it comes back, and he said the charter would come back. So we voted on it. But it's our damn fault. We didn't look at it, you know? None of us did. And that's what happened. Nobody caught that until, what? 6, 8
After
months
this
ago.
last election.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole deal right there. That's what this is all about to me, you know?
Before I make the vote, if Cody's got anything, any explanations, anything he wants to say, then give him that opportunity,
Absolutely.
if it's okay with the rest of the board.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Clarification, we put the entirety of the resolution into the next set of minutes. When the board approved the minutes, it's my understanding that everyone was on the same page on what they will pass.
But you understand that the minutes we have are not accurate.
And then the mayor signed the resolution, and that's the resolution that was sent up. And we requested a draft so that the board could review that draft and vote again. When we received the draft, and passed, they pointed out that there were differences in what had been sent up, that legal services had made. I ran those by the mayor, and he said to find out why. So I copied him on the emails to, Brock Martin's office, received clarification on why the brief changes have been made, and they shot back the reasoning for making the changes. It was drafting styles, printed that off, for him to see, and here we are tonight.
Mr. Wood, I'm curious, in 2023, when this charter was sent up for a change, when the board had 2 readings on it, and it was sent to Nashville for the change, did you send that to MTAS for that draft, or did you send that to Nashville for them to draft that and send it back for the board to review?
Before the board voted,
Yes, sir.
MTS did the draft before the board voted on it.
That's the way it's kind of always been, hasn't it?
Correct, just like this time.
But didn't you just say that you had sent it up there for them to draft it, for it to come back for us to look at it? Isn't that what I heard you say?
Mayor Woodridge and I discussed this before. We'll make it very clear what the board is voting on. So after the board vote, and we got a draft of the General Assembly of the bill, it'd be voted on by the board again. And that way, when it passes the General Assembly, it can be voted on the board again after that.
So the mayor signed off on the resolution.
Correct.
Do we have a tape of this meeting that she's talking about in its entirety in your possession?
Yes.
Well, can I amend the motion that that tape be listened to by the mayor? And if he feels that Donna's correct, then he can make that decision as to whether to send him home or not for the next meeting. And at least investigate it from both sides before we send somebody home. There's more than just what was there in that meeting, and
There's a
I
whole.
may be wrong, but I don't remember approving anything to be sent up there other than that one ordinance, or what we put in the ordinance, nothing else.
But we
My
really
intention to get sent up there.
I'm not saying anything other than, what I see is, we said we was gonna read it again and vote again. We haven't done that. I know that.
But we haven't passed it. We haven't passed it yet either.
No, I know,
That's
but
the
it's
whole
in
point,
Nashville.
But it got to Nashville somehow,
But
Roger.
we haven't passed it. We haven't had that reading.
Right.
He's sitting over here saying we don't have to have a second reading.
We have to have a reading to approve what come back from Nashville.
You have,
Do
you
we
have to
not?
have
That's to ratify it.
I understand.
You got to have a vote to send it from us. And when it comes back,
That
we got
would
to
be my
vote.
amendment to the motion.
And when it comes back, we got to vote to approve it. Isn't that right? That's it.
That's
We
my
vote twice.
understanding.
But we didn't, when it came, what I want to know is how it got changed the last time.
I wasn't here last time. I don't know.
I wasn't here in 2023, and I can't do anything about
How
that.
did it change from the two things,
Like
you know,
what I heard.
and then, and this, and this?
I'll tell you what I heard was, Whitehead stood in front of the podium. He was grilled by Alderman at the time, Wilders, about who put this wording, who took this out, who done all this, and he had to ask it 3 or 4 times before Mr. Whitehead looked at it and said, kind of sheepishly, the mayor, talking about the previous mayor. I was here.
Yeah, when it come, wasn't he the one to come back this last time?
Yes, sir.
He didn't know what happened.
No, I didn't know what
He didn't have any recollection
We
of that.
didn't even know that happened. I don't have that happen. Oh, no. Yeah.
You're
It
telling the
happened. I can
truth.
guarantee you that.
You're telling the truth.
Call for the vote on the amendment.
I don't want how do I stop my motion amendment being amended?
What we have is here, he's made a motion, you guys seconded it, you made a motion, seconded it. He's amended. We have to vote on the amendment first before we vote on the motion.
Yes. We're gonna rescind it right now, right? Isn't that not?
No, he's voted.
Did my second yours?
What was the amendment?
Oh, wait, Roger's got amendment. Let's hear it.
That the mayor listened to the tape that we have in the city's possession and in its entirety and see if it indicates that Cody has done what the portion that we've listened to here is, sounding like in its entirety, if anything changed on that, and then he makes the decision as to whether or not to do the suspension bill.
Mr. Lofton, it's not just that one meeting. If you look through this packet of board minutes that I have supplied to you and you listen to the audio, the motions, they're not in there.
If we hadn't come out of
Motions that were made and then tabled, the tabling of those motions. And you know what's, it's kind of ironic to me that when I'm going through there and I'm reading the minutes, all matches up except when it comes to this charter.
didn't have this to look at till tonight, may have changed my mind if I had of. So certainly hadn't got time to sit here and read it all now. I'm not gonna send somebody home without knowing that they'll.
I understand.
Now, do you have a second?
I'll say.
Sandra seconds. The amendment. All right, if you vote yes, you're voting for the amendment. You vote no, but you're against the amendment.
Can you tell the amendment one more time?
What name?
The amendment to allow the mayor to listen to the tape that the city has in its possession and in its entirety and see if it matches what we've heard tonight and anything in that changes that.
And if it does,
And him make a
So-
decision, send him home or not.
So what you're saying is, I'm clarifying, if what he listens to is the same, then he's suspended?
That the mayor will
mayor will make
send him
the
home.
decision. Solely on the mayor.
That goes back to the first
I'm
one.
throwing it on the mayor.
Then it'll come before the board. If he appeals it, it'll come before the board, Chip, and then the board
Okay,
has to make the
okay.
decision.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Wait a minute now, we got,
I'm
If
asking you
you
questions.
feel like that I'm trying to throw it on, I'm not. It can be that the suspension is, as we've discussed it tonight, if you find that to be the case. We don't have to put it on you. We can vote on it.
Basically, he just listens to the other side, and if
Yeah.
it sounds the same, then it stands.
If nothing changes.
That's your motion.
That's my amendment.
That's your amendment. That's what I'm saying.
wait a minute. I don't hear that myself. Say it one more time.
I need that clearly stated
sorry.
before I vote.
I know it's got real confusing and.
You know, it's always confusing. You don't know what you're doing up here because it's always confusing. I just will remove my amendment.
You withdrawing your amendment?
Yes, sir.
You're withdrawing this amendment. Now we're gonna vote on the original motion.
He was amending my motion.
that he withdrew.
I'll have to withdraw my second if he withdrew
Okay.
his amendment, so what, I'll have to.
Well, if I go with
Yep, I withdraw
Well, I
my
mean,
second.
okay, all right.
I sure think we ought to give,
Stand by your amendment.
that we ought to give the opportunity to hear from both, all sides before we decide to send somebody home. I guess that's it.
We'll put your amendment back in.
No,
I know.
I don't think that can make anybody understand what it is.
I think I understood you. That's why I'm saying I'm cool with, so I have, if I make an amendment,
Okay, there you go.
the mayor listens to the city's recording. If the city's recordings, and if they match what we heard tonight, then Donna's amendment for suspension stands. Is that what you said?
If he understood that we all voted to have that done, and he's done anything wrong, yes.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Whatever he helped me finish my amendment. Now, I need a second.
Got it.
All right.
No, I asked if you got it. Did you get a second?
You say.
No, I'm not second. I asked if you got it.
Oh,
thought you said.
sorry about that. Thought you did
Not
second.
second. Got it? No, don't have it.
I'll second.
Sandra second. So what we voting on the amendment?
Mayor, state what we're voting on, please.
There you go.
You know what? I think what they're saying is, and if I understand this correctly, what the motion is, they want to review the recording and see if it says what Donna has said it says, and that we voted on making a second charter change, that we would vote on a second charter change that will be sent up. Instead, what we did, we voted on an ordinance, and the ordinance got sent up. Is this correct? If that's what it is, then what we determine is which one did we send up and which one did we vote on? Because we have not voted on the second charter change yet.
But you're saying they listen, that's not what the motion
No,
is.
the motion
They're
is for the
saying
mayor
you
to listen.
You make the decision, yes, sir. That's the motion and amendment on the floor that Chip just did.
Basically, it would be you listen, see if it says the same thing that the recording you heard tonight is and all through the meeting. And then if it is, then Donna's amendment stands, her suspension stands. If it's different, then it don't, you come back to us. That's what I understood.
And I guess I need to ask, is what we voted on to send up there in this tape that we're talking about, is it for that night? Was there another night that it was discussed and voted on for any other reason?
No.
Other than send that amendment up there?
It's never been voted on except that night on the 24th of November. It's been on our agenda, it's been discussed, but it's been tabled because the charter amendment was not ready until tonight.
That's correct. That's what I understood the whole time, was we was gonna get it for a second reading. I did understand it that way.
Well, I'm not saying that I didn't understand there was gonna be a second reading. I thought there would be two. But I don't know that it requires a second reading. I'm just saying that's what I thought. Some things do, some things don't. But I just don't remember, I just don't think I would have not understood that what we sent up there was just that, giving you the powers that we put in.
I do know that when we voted to restore the charter back to its original thing, we was told it took 2 readings or 2 votes is what it took. We did one, and we never have done another one. In the meantime, we did an interim, we done a resolution, as Mr. Whitehead is, to restore my power, mayor's power, excuse my French here, but the mayor back to his original position, and then we would vote on the verbiage as we put back in. And what we wanted to do was put the charter back to its original thing, with the exceptions of the 3 things we said. And that's what we wanted to do. And that's what we voted on in that sequence. And that has never come back. She was sick. We were supposed to have done it last month, and she was sick, and we didn't vote on it. Because there was one 4-line verbiage that was left out of it. And when I seen the draft and I seen it, I told her, I said it had been left out. So we put it back in for tonight because of what we voted on the first time, or what it was typed up and put in and voted on tonight's what it was. And what all it basically says was you can combine, you can abolish or combine departments is what was left out. And that was put back in for the vote tonight. So it would be in there. Otherwise, Jeff would be.
So you're saying we voted to put the department heads specifically in there one at a time?
Mm-hmm.
I just struggle to know what the intent, what's the bad intentions by sending that, or what would be the?
It's not correct. I mean, that part I see.
Well,
I don't know if it was a misunderstanding, but I see that it's not.
I'm saying it's
fine.
wrong. I say it was the intentions to deceive us, and I struggle to see.
All right, I'm just gonna lay it out to you like it really is, okay? Let's go all the way back to the beginning of this thing. When they changed this charter, they come in here and they voted on it. What they did was they wanted 3 things to happen. 3 things. They wanted the department heads not have to live in the city. They wanted to be sure that the mayor could break a tie vote, what it was. And the third thing, which Mr. Rose put in there, was after he talked about it, he wanted to be, if somebody's died or got what happens, somebody happens to them and they can't fulfill their whole 4 years, then if in the first 2 years, they have to come up in the next election, they can't wait the 4 years and write it out, they have to do that. That was the three things. When the verbiage come back, they done away with the mayor's power, they done away with the department heads, they combined it up to make it look like they was gonna have a city manager and not a city recorder. That's the way it was.
23 charter.
Right.
Mr. Whitehead said they left out a paragraph.
And what happened was, that's exactly right. But what he didn't say was, he said they took, that's what he said. When they voted on that, he said, he went back and looked at it. They left out that paragraph, and he said it was an honest mistake that was made in Nashville that got left out of our charter, what it was. So all we said was, we want to put it back to its original integrity, and at that time it was to put it back like it was with the three different amenity or different motions they want on there. Those three things. Leave it alone and add those three things. It's that simple. Nothing else no more. But what they done is they took out here, added in here, and we got it back and we voted on it. Now, to what was just said, we voted on it, but we never read it. The board took at face value that they had voted on these items, and that's the only thing it done was injected it into it. But whenever we started reading it after that later on, it was changed every which way. Mr. Whitehead come up here, and I'll repeat exactly what he said. I asked him, I said, who told you to change that verbiage in that charter and make all those changes? He said, and this is what he said was, finally after about 3 times, finally he said, the mayor wanted it changed because he wanted to be able to combine departments, or, you know, where you could abolish departments or combine departments. He wanted that put in there. It was never voted on. None. It got put in there. Then they took out the mayor's verbiage and took it out there too, okay? Then they took all the department heads out there. And what happened, it come back a total difference in what the board voted on. Now, is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. But here's what I'm telling you is, the board voted on to put it back and add those three things to it. Now, the difference is they wanted to leave it in there about being able to do the, what do you call it, doing abolishing and the interconnecting
Combining.
Compartments. And I thought, well, if it needs to be in there, it needs to be in there. And you can change anything until you get the second reading. So that was the paragraph I added in there. It had to be in there because to make it legal for Jeff to be over the department, and when you combined it, so I put it back in there. And that's what we was going to vote on the second time. Now, that's the timeline, and that's what happened. Now, and when all we understood was when we did a resolution to put the mayor's power back in, that was original power, a resolution to take care of it till you vote on a charter change. And when you vote on a charter change, the resolution will make no difference because the charter change restores the mayor's power, is what it does. And that's exactly what happened from start to finish. And what we are here right here tonight is decided if we vote on this charter change that's in here, exactly what I've told y'all, line for line, and that's what we sent up there to put that back in the charter, nothing else. That's it. And that's the timeline and everything we're doing.
I just questioned about recommending Cody. Was the intention to go
Well,
against
I'm going to say this about, let me say this right here, okay? Let me say this one thing. Okay, you can't have a city recorder, you can't have a mayor, and you can't have other people at will doing willy-nilly things. I will never go off and do something without telling this board and get prior approval, okay? Now, so in the past, I know that things have got done out of City Hall before it got passed by this board, all right? I, as a mayor, and you as a board, should put this back in the order it should be, where we vote on things, you know what you voted on and what you're going to get. And nobody circumvent this board at any time to do anything. That's the main reason that I said, and I want to get it put back, where I could be over HR and every mayor or whatever. But what happens is you want to sit in on these interviews so we don't hire our buddy, our friend, our cousin, whatever, just because he's a good old guy, But if you put out a list of things you want somebody qualifications, that person should meet those qualifications. If you put them out there and don't hire somebody because you say he was the best one for the job, don't put those qualifications on there. Just don't put none if you want to hire. But don't do that. And all I want to sit down and interview is, and I'm going to ask them, point by point by point, do you meet those qualifications? I don't have to hire them, but I want to know that we follow our policy. That's all I'm saying here tonight, and that's what this whole thing's about, is trying to put this back. Now, if you want me to judge where you stand Cody home or not, I'll be glad to do
No,
this.
sir.
I have no
I do not.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay, I
You
mean,
think
I'll
I'm trying to put that
and I will
on
be,
you, I'm not.
and I will be fair and honest either way.
I'm not.
Honestly, I would, okay?
I'm not.
All right, so that's where we at, okay?
Okay.
Now, I hate the whole mess that's come up. I hate to air dirty laundry out in front of the public, but you need to understand, we have a structure here, and it's always been that we have a board, and a mayor and a board of aldermen. And the mayor and the board of aldermen run the town and set up every rule and regulation, things we do, we vote on every one of them. In the past, in the future, we do that. All we want to do is put sanity back in what we're doing, and that's what I'd like to see. Now, y'all can vote, do what you want to, but I'm just telling you the way the process has been and how we got to where we are tonight.
Back to what Chip had said about the intent. That's important to me.
Well, that's what I said.
Something was, or
I don't know how he would.
He's made a motion. That's an amendment, right?
Yeah, but hang on. I don't know how you would ask one man to decide intent. Here's my thing. Is the wrong in sending it in before the second reading that we said we were told we were going to get before it was sent back? Is that right or wrong? Yes or no? I mean, I'm asking.
ask the question again, then.
We were told, and it's clearly stated, we would get it again after all of the changes were made to it. We would read it again, vote on it again, then it would be sent. Yes or no? That's what we were told. Correct?
What you were told.
Yes, that's what we were told.
Okay. So my thing is that did not happen. And whether you do it in the form of a write-up, at some point we have to hold people accountable.
Absolutely, and wouldn't you think you would have a ladder to climb rather than go, or unless you feel like the offense was warranted,
Right.
to
I'm-
send somebody home or dismiss them?
I agree with you.
But I guess that's where I'm at.
I agree with you. I'm saying, though, we do have to have, at some point, there's got to be some accountability. Just like, in my opinion, the whole deal over the hiring thing, if we'd have wrote someone up when that happened.
Might not have happened again.
Exactly.
Not
So-
take the drastic measures.
That's correct.
The only reason that I am hours by this board, hours individually, have been spent line by line going through this charter. We have had our city attorney here addressing this board. We've met individually with Mr. Whitehead at MTask going over this. He came at our work session and told us, pass this ordinance, give him back his power until you can get this second reading done on this charter and send it up to the state. And so that's what we did. It's on us as board members that we did not read adequately these minutes before we approved them. I promise you, I'll be reading through with a fine-tooth comb from this day forward. It is out of the bounds of the authority of our city recorder to take it upon himself to change the Bible of this city. Isn't that what Mr. Griggs would call it? It's your Bible. That's the Bible of your city. I remember him saying it. This charter is the most important document in this city, and no one person has the right to change that without this board's approval and send it to our state legislature. That's just how I feel about it. I'm very passionate about it. I am very concerned about what this document says and how this has been handled, because it's not only the document, it speaks to the attitude and the authority that of that perceived position.
I would still like someone to listen to the tape in its entirety besides myself. I would still like for you to do that, Mayor.
So,
Regardless of what we do.
I have no problem listening, but what the motion is.
I understand, but I'm
Okay.
just.
And you gotta understand the way this works. If you get a motion, you get a second.
I understand.
Yeah.
Somebody has to vote or they have to withdraw the motion.
All right, so, here's the thing. Whether it's intent or not, we were told we would get it back. I mean, I'm just sitting listening to everybody talk, and this is bounding in my head more and more. We were told, point blank, we would get it back with the changes made. We would read it and get a second vote, and then we would send it in. So there's wrongdoing done, one way or the other. Intent or not, somebody dropped the ball, however you want to look at it.
Okay.
All right, so is it fair to put it on the mayor, because he may not even want him suspended, he may think he needs a write-up. I'm going to say this, Sandra, I'm sorry, I'll make you do this twice, but I'm pulling my motion back because the mayor don't need to do that by himself. We need to, as a board, decide, did he do right or wrong? If you want some other form of reprimand, then somebody step that up. But we all in agreement wrong was done.
Intently or not.
Intently or not, wrong was done. So if you work for me at work and you make a mistake, even if it's a mistake, I call you in and we work the situation out.
Yes.
We don't just turn our head and walk away.
Correct.
So we've got, something has to be done, point blank, because if not, Casey's sitting right over there, and I'm not picking on him, I'm saying any other department head, you owe them one. If you let one slip, you owe the next one. When does it stop? I'm saying and I'm not saying that everything is a major, you don't call them in and do something crazy over everything that happens. But I'm saying at some point we've got to stand somewhere, I think. That's my opinion.
I agree with you, and this is a big deal. Like, this is not that this is the charter of the city of our town.
Would it be appropriate to suggest or for us to think about a write-up and with more investigation determine whether there should be dismissal or not?
I'm not asking for dismissal. My motion is that Mr. Wood is suspended without pay for 10 days. He is to come back at the special called session, which you discussed previously, on March 9, and this board at that time can make revisions, make motions to correct these minutes that have been handed out to us tonight, and also then to determine the employment status moving forward of the city recorder. That's my motion, and it has a second.
I haven't rescinded my amendment to, Chip, did you?
Yes, I did.
I'll rescind my motion, and look, we don't know, I don't think that it was intentionally done, and I don't think anybody on this board thinks that it was intentionally done. But I agree with Chip, does something need to be done? You let one go, something else follows suit with another department head. I get that. But normally when you take steps or provisions, you start with a write-up, then you start with a suspension, and then you start with a dismissal if it wants that. So I think we're jumping the gun here and just, it's important, Don, I'm not saying that at all, because the city charter is the foundation of the city. It's the foundation. But to go that far,
Sandra, there's months.
I can't go along with that,
I understand, but there's months of minutes in front of you that are not reflecting the truth.
Time to have read them, Donna.
And
maybe I'd have a different opinion, but
I get
I
it.
just didn't have the opportunity.
No, the amendment is that I made, I mean, the motion that I made is standing. It's all the amendments are gone. All the amendments are gone.
Don't you have, you.
Just my motion.
I did answer it.
Tim is calling for a vote.
Wait a minute.
It's on Donna's motion.
Okay, so we know, all the amendments have been rescinded, all the seconds have been rescinded, so what we're voting on is Donna's motion. Correct? Everybody
Yes.
understand what we're
That
voting
is
on?
to send him home without pay for 10 days and
Have a
everything
special
else
call.
she said after that.
Come back on
And
special
everything
call.
else she said after that.
Yeah, we come back after, well, have a special call meeting, we're gonna have a meeting anyway. All right, call roll.
Donna Ross,
Yes.
Amy White. Yes. Gabe Williams.
No.
Sandra Woods.
No.
Chip Clark,
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
No.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Now, we still have not voted on the charter change. That's the last thing. I need it voted on so we can send it up, or we won't vote on it and let it be, whatever y'all wanna do. It's y'all's call.
I'll make a motion to approve the charter, second reading of the charter with the documentation that's been provided to us tonight.
Well, I want to ask a question. Who proposed this? Who proposed this? Did
I did.
MTS propose this?
That's MTS right there.
This is MTS right here.
That's
Well,
the
I got a
charter-
question.
That's the charter as originally wrote.
Well, I got a question.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the charter and the municipal code today. We all agree and we all know that the charter is the foundation of the city. We get that. The day-to-day rules goes by the municipal code. Well, half this stuff that's right in here that's been proposed is come right off of the municipal code and stuck in the charter. And I'm not following that. I don't know why that's done.
What's in there is what's in the original charter.
There is also things that are in the municipal code that I looked at today are put in here that, and they shouldn't be in here. This is for major things. That's what the charter's for, is major things. And we pull things out, or someone has pulled things out of the municipal code and put it in here because I looked at it word for word.
What things are you talking about?
Well, exactly starting on page 49 where it says that, it says section 10 has been completely or has been deleted. So when you go and look at the charter, it's only one paragraph. And now I come back in here and it's got 2 paragraphs. And then it's got the thing that you says on the first page, it's deleted. It's back in here, word for word, verbatim.
Which page are you on?
On page 49, section 10, it says, and any other acts amendatory thereto is amended by deleting section 10.
That's correct.
And substituting the following. Well, if it's deleted, why is it down here?
Well, because section 10 in this new charter, if you look right here, there's one paragraph. And it says that's all that's in the new charter.
The mayor, up here at the top where it says the mayor shall be the CEO of the city and shall have
Right.
supervision and all that, that's straight out of the municipal code. It wasn't even in the charter.
That was in the yes, it was. It was exactly
Well,
just
you're
that verbiage in the old charter before the change in 2023.
gotta-
I have it here. I'll show it to you, Ms. Wood.
Mr. Whitehead had told us that it was a conflict for the department heads to be listed as they are, and he was concerned when they changed it to all department heads should be administered by, and the part where we could put it together was a conflict, so to put both of them in the charter would be something that our MTAS has already told us is not a good thing to do. It's contradictory to one another, so that alone, I couldn't go for this. You said that this come back from,
This
or
didn't
this
come
MTAS?
back, this from the original draft of the original charter that he sent back, is what it is.
original
But who-
draft.
and-
The one we got back, we voted on, didn't have this in there.
So somebody
What we
put,
got, what we got back, that we voted on, after it went up to the state, took all this out, and what they done is, they put the verbiage in that we're voting on, put back in right now.
Who typed this?
I didn't have it.
Who typed it? Did Rick Whitehead send this back? Who typed
No,
this?
she-
Who typed it? All I
This
wanna
is
know.
copied from, I didn't type it.
I know you didn't, I wanna know who did. Who typed it? Who typed it?
This is copied
Who
from
typed
the old
it? I
charter.
asked a question, who typed it?
It's copied from the old
Did you
charter.
type it, Donna?
It's
Did you
copied
type-
from
did
the
you
old
type this?
charter.
Did you type
Cody,
this?
where did you get this charter?
Who typed this?
Yes.
Mayor Deputy.
Someone typed it, I was told.
I have.
Go ahead.
I have,
Go ahead.
hey,
Go ahead.
I have the draft, and it says draft on it, and I will bring it to the next meeting, and this is verbatim out of what the draft
Not
says.
what I was told. If you got a motion and a second, y'all move forward.
I don't think we have a second. Do we have a second to approve this charter change? I made the motion to accept the charter change as written and presented tonight.
All right.
No, sir.
Call a roll.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
No.
Sandra Woods.
No.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Robbie
Don't
Lofton.
even know my name, it's crazy.
He called your name, didn't he?
No.
Tim Rose.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
So, record, did it pass or no?
Thanks.
Gotta have five.
Charter change gotta have five.
Ratification is step five. When it comes back, when it comes back, before it's any good, you have to have 5 votes.
Just that one.
No, that's true. No, no.